Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been so long. It's been a few weeks. It's been almost a month. It's been some time. It's been a minute. But we are finally back with another episode of the Geeks 5 Ever podcast. I am the one, the only, the most infamous podcast host and panelist in all of Texas. The one, the only, the infamous King Captain Mexico. And joining me as always is the man with the plan, the Ayatollah of rock and roller. He runs the skinny. He is the Texas gaming hedgehog, and he will spin dash his way into your ears and into your heart, and maybe your wallets. I don't know. Throw some money his way. His birthday's coming up. Keyblade Sonic.
Hi, everybody. It has been a rather hot, eventful minute since we've been on the show. We do apologize for that. We'll explain later why.
We will call it our mid-season finale, and now we're back. It's like Cobra Kai, you know. They split it up into two seasons. What the hell? All right. So, and joining us as always, she is the producer. She makes it happen. She's the one who will throw hands with anybody that doesn't agree with her. She's the one, the only Dagapus.
The voice from the
voice of God.
Hey everybody, I've been very busy. Welcome back to the podcast.
Actually, somebody thought I fired you for a while.
Sure, why not? I mean,
so long.
I got fired and rehired. That's how that works.
No, that's how that works. Even though nobody gets paid.
Yeah, right.
Except with badges.
Free badge, that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're really doing for. All right, so joining us, we have one of the cosplay guests from Delta HCon. They're gonna come here, shed some light, share some of the insiders, el chisme, the tea about what went on backstage, and even review the convention. I was kidding about the tea part, but joining us is Savvy.
Hi.
And joining us is the one, the only. He missed Delta, but he was at BarCon. He is the notorious. What are you, a nerd otaku rapper?
Jesse, do you hear that noise? That's the sound of the people getting out of their seats because finally the Geeks 5 Ever podcast has come back to all of your internet providers. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Deacon Rap, the most electrifying panelist in all of Anime Condom. And this is my girlfriend, Mayanaka Kitsune49. Did I say that correctly?
Wait, hold on. Not to cut off your introduction halfway through it, but did you say condoms or condoms?
Yeah, condoms.
Yeah,
like anime condom.
Why do you have condoms?
You know, like fandom, condom?
But that's a poor choice of.
Freudian slip there, sir. Yeah. Wow.
Well, at least not the best word to say it, not the best use.
Yeah, you know, give him all the trash you want, but at least he's being safe. Good for you, buddy. He's the one, the only. He's the notorious, the soon-to-be platinum-selling artist. He will sell out a crowd. He puts asses in seats, and he gets more ass than a toilet seat himself. The one, the only. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Rap.
Excuse me.
And joining us, the sound of a convention. One of the most entertaining DJs in a very long time. And that's right, even more entertaining than DJ Heavy Grinder. And I've met that person. The one, the only Safi.
Hi, I'm okay. Thank you so much. Glad to be here. Hopefully I don't cut out, but it's storming. But
yeah, so just quick, everyone, it's storming in everyone's area except for mine for some reason. I guess the rain, the water don't like me. Like, that guy again, gross. But if they do cut out throughout the show, good old technical difficulties. So we don't really have a skinny like me and Sonic have originally planned, but we will say this. I would like to get a group together this weekend to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. There's your skinny.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. So yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine, it's coming up this weekend. Pretty easily one of the most anticipated movies. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to go seeing. We'll give our review on it like 2 weeks after the movie come out. So just a heads up if you want to know our thoughts. So stay tuned for that.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, so to kind of address, we haven't really reviewed any movies because none of the movies have really caught our eye. Like really, I forgot Twisters was a thing. By the way, we have a little private chat for our guests where I shared the YouTube link in case you want to share it, so your fans could follow us and watch and all that good stuff.
Yeah, spread the word.
Spread the word. We are Geeks 5 Ever, the voice of the voiceless. And remember to join our Discord. You can catch our Discord link in the Instagram, so you can get caught up all to date, get up to date caught up on all the cheese, man. All the cheese.
All the cheese, man. Also, you get a chance to showcase your stuff, show and tell, promote your stuff. If you any conventions coming up, you could ask for room if you're looking for somebody who needs a room.
We have a smut chat, so you degenerates can go out in there and share your stuff.
And also a place to vent in case you ever in dire need.
For a smut chat, there's a lot of hand holding in there.
Right. And you can rant like DQ rants about when the Taco Bell's not open after 11.
What?
Oh yeah, the rant. Yeah, Deacon Rap did go on a rant about taco rap over here. Went on a rant about how Taco Bell's closed early now. But so let's get it out of the way just real quick. We want to get it out of the way. So Keyblade Sonic is going to go ahead and do a quick review of did it suck or did it not of Anime Expo.
Okay, so for people who don't know what Anime Expo is, it's the biggest anime convention in North America that took place in Los Angeles, California, usually around July 4th weekend. And I'm sure who here has seen an article about Anime Expo and you see the photo of like how big, how crowded it is, like it's like sardines in a can.
Oh yeah, I know so much about that.
Yeah.
I can't raise my hand, but imagine that.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you live?
So here's the amazing part. Here's a little plot twist for y'all. This year was not as packed as I thought it was going to be. It actually felt easier to walk in. So every year they would have like one or two entrances. They would only have like one or two entrances dedicated just going in. And that's what caused a lot of people to be, crowded up, like sardines in a can. This year, they actually made a lot of changes they actually had multiple entrances and it was easy to go in. Like just like that. I was able to go in even in the earliest mornings. I was able to just walk in, go through security, all that stuff. No problem this year. This is actually the best, like, entrance-wise. Other than that, every year it just feels like, it's really special. It's like one of those things where, like, if you go once a year, it's great. You know what I mean? There were people I knew who told me that they go for a long time. They're like, oh, my God, this actually felt like it felt really different. You know what I mean? It felt less crowded and less people. It's not really. I'm like, well, personally for me, I like it because there's less people. I even said that Anime Expo should cap like the amount of like badges they sell. Other than that, I enjoyed it. I think that was the big key is that it was really packed, but not as packed as years before in terms of like everyone gathering up at each other. Like you could actually have some wiggle space to move around. So any chance anybody would like to go, I'd say go for it. So next year they already announced their dates for next year, which will be July 3rd to the 6th of 2025. So that's my quick Anime Expo review. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I was really happy it all came out okay. Everything went all right. Hopefully they keep the same layout as they did this year.
What's your score?
If I were to give it a score, okay, so this is not my personal thing. It's not like, if I didn't go to this panel, I would give it like a 4 out of 10 or something like that. You know what I mean? Not like that. I went to the panels I wanted to go to. I was able to go to some panel dedicated to Blue Exorcist. They had the Japanese voice of Rin and they were talking about like the upcoming seasons and all that stuff. And I also went to the Sonic Shadow Generations panel that had they were showing off the animated prequel to like a precursor, like a little animation of it. I enjoyed it. My overall score was a like 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 is your score of the con, right?
Yeah, my score of Anime Expo was an 8.5. I think it's an improvement. The biggest improvement was easy to go in and out, not as crowded, and like I said, hope it stays that way.
All right, I'm gonna add so I added your score officially to the screen for. All right, Anime Expo 8.5 out of 10. Yeah,
so there we go. I know it's very quick, but I just get to the point.
All right, yeah, because we have a lot to talk about, guys. It's been so long. We have so many conventions, and we still got we have DreamCon to talk about next week. We have
San Diego Comic-Con this weekend.
San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. Plus, let's not forget, we also are going to review a Metal Gear Solid convention. and I'm pretty sure there was like some other. It's just so much, and we're trying to
There
keep
was-
up.
Yeah, there was a convention that happened this past weekend that honestly, I don't even know anybody we know went. That happened in Pasadena.
And you mean Anime Fan Weekend?
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody I know went to that.
Yeah, a lot of people
I
I
didn't
knew.
even know.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that was happening. I forgot it was happening. And then, like I said, like we mentioned, we have these conventions coming up, and then next month we got Colossal Con, and we got San Japan coming up too.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about our Geeks 5 Hour plans for San Japan, Colossal Con, and all the other cons, including Anime Texas. But to kind of talk about BotCon a little bit, for those of you that didn't attend, BotCon was 2 weeks ago.
It was July 6th and 7th.
Man, I don't know.
It was right
It was
before
good.
Delta.
So it was 3
4th of
weeks
July
ago.
weekend.
Oh, we can just do it a different time.
But Delta was just like a little bit over a week ago. So, it's 2 weeks ago. You know what? It was 3 weeks ago. So, BotCon was at this time in the Hobby Airport area this year, and they were at a hotel.
The blue shelf goes up there, and then the
Sonic didn't mute himself.
No, let's keep listening. He may say something that will get us views. And he's gone.
No, I took him off just to
Bye-bye.
protect his privacy.
Yes. Privacy
I
is
can-
good. It's bueno.
Yeah, everybody loves privacy.
Yeah.
That's
You didn't
true.
mute yourself, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just it's because we have these new shelves that I want to install, and actually looks kind of forward to it.
Yeah, I got new shelves in my room too, so
Yeah,
I get it.
I used to
So
love
to talk a little bit about BotCon. So BotCon this year was very interesting because it's the first time it was at a hotel and not the usual convention center. So it definitely was a lot smaller than normal, but I actually had fun at the convention, even though I showed up super late Saturday, and it's Deacon Rap had to help me and host my panels Sunday. But the thing is, I enjoyed it. I attended a couple other panels. They had something called karaoke roulette, and I thought that was fun. I'm obviously not going to steal the idea because like that's not how I run my karaoke, but like pretty much you pick your song and they have a roulette, and whatever that's the challenge. Like, so if you have to sing the song like Bulbasaur, like
You
you
have to
say
sing like
Bulbasaur, you got yeah, pretty much, right? And so I got cartoon characters. So like, okay, you got to mimic a cartoon character, and I was like, oh no, I'm not good with impersonations. I suck. I'm like, okay, who do I know? Who do I know? So I started doing, so I'm like, Blue's Clues. There we go.
Baby.
And so oh god, it was so rough on my voice, but I liked it. There was one, I don't know if you ever seen the guy that has the signs at all the cons are like, oh, this is my opinion. If you disagree with me, argue. He walks around the cons, and the sign is his cosplay.
Yeah,
He had a
I've seen it.
panel, and he had a panel where he was very like, I didn't agree with the panel, but I still stayed and listened with an open mind. Like, he said some stuff I didn't agree with. I thought it was pretty interesting. My buddy threw a panel of his own. We had fan fiction. I overall enjoyed it. Even after all the panels were said and done, we were all hanging out until 2 a.m. in the lobby, just talking and chilling. So I really liked it. I thought it was great. Obviously BotCon is not a party con, but overall, I think it did really well. So I'm gonna, like, for me, in my opinion, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually really a really good review score because, especially a lot of people would give it like a different review depending on the size of the convention. Like, oh, if one year was actually huge, then the next year is smaller. People will kind of like deduct points off of it. But
I feel like smaller conventions they're more homey. Like, it's easier to make friends at a smaller convention than as a bigger convention because people are more defensive at a bigger convention, where at a smaller con people are friendlier, they're easier to approach, and like it's easier to make friends, and because you're going to see the same people all weekend, right? At a big con we could literally run into each other Friday morning, and we won't run into each other at anymore the rest
until
of the
like the rest of the weekend or like last minute Sunday.
or until I like call you, hey, I need my stuff. Bring my stuff. Like, where you at? So I appreciate smaller cons more, even though we do cover bigger cons, like I said, I just appreciate the closed environment because, like I said, it's easier to make friends and network and like, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? Or like, hey, I saw you there. You're cool. Like, oh, hey, you're the person that like threw up all over the lobby. All right, cool. But like, yeah, I mean, it is one of those situations to where I couldn't appreciate a smaller con much more. Plus, it's easier to like just navigate through stuff. Like at a bigger con, you can't even like if you stand in the same spot for like 10 seconds, you got security. Like, all right, keep moving, keep walking.
Yeah.
Right. No loitering. So, Deacon, you were there. What'd you think?
I'm gonna say this made debatably the best con of the year so far for me.
What? So, what's your
Yeah? Because like for one, it's like I felt safe, as in like I didn't need to have my body cam on. But I never even like took it out of my bag. That's how safe I felt at the con. And then it's like I got to perform with Chuck Huber and Stephanie Nadolny. You know, the song I made with him debuted that weekend, and I got to perform it with him. You know, and it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy to me. And then the panels went well. I got to hang out with you. What do we call it? Talking shit in the lobby till 2 a.m. was a lot of fun.
Wait, have I cussed? Sonic, have I cussed yet?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because he cussed. I'm not supposed to cuss anymore.
Yeah.
Don't jinx yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why that's there.
So, babe, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to put some money to feed the orphans.
What?
You have to put some money in the swear jar.
What swear? There's no swear jar.
They have a swear counter.
You ever
Well,
you ever been to
now
a
there
store?
Now we do.
It's like, would you like to
Now you
donate
do.
money to feed the hungry or to feed the poor? I am the poor.
By the way,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but what you called it? The one bad thing is, okay, I want to take a poll. So when the electricity went out for 45 seconds, I was stuck in the elevator. Did I A, just calmly wait for the power to go on? B, crouch down and press the help button until somebody spoke to me? Or C, start freaking the fuck out?
More money for the
45
orphans.
seconds.
I zoned out. What?
For 45 seconds.
Yeah,
I doing
the
for 45
electricity
seconds?
went out for 45 seconds and I was in the elevator.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, it was freaky because I'm like, oh God, this is how it ends. Because I'm expecting the elevator to just drop when the power goes out.
I was gonna
And,
say, I thought you were gonna do some Mission Impossible stuff and just climb out the other. That's what I would have done.
I thought I could see Deacon curling up in a ball and like crying. This is how I go.
That's why I put up number 3 because that's my option choice of vote.
Yeah, but no, the first thing I did is in Pokemon episode 23 or 24, I can't remember which one. When the power goes out in the elevator, Brock pushes the help button, and that's how I knew what to do when the power went out in the elevator. So I did push the help button, and then when I pushed it, the light would go off. So I kept pushing it. Okay, somebody's supposed to talk to me, and then the power went back on. And for the rest of the night, I kept taking the stairs.
And then there was me at a panel, I think it was like anime hot takes or anime trials, and the light went out after I made like my deliberations or whatever, and I just sat there being like, the Lord has spoken.
Okay, hold on. It was anime hot takes.
Yeah, or
Yes.
it was like just like it was kind of like a court case style, courthouse.
I was lied to.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
But-
thought it was hot cakes. I'm like, what?
No, hot takes, not food.
Anime
I will
hotcakes,
say
that'd be
this.
interesting.
So I will say this: the only issue I had with BotCon was the fact that the burlesque show and the rave were in the same room.
Yeah,
I was
true.
kind of confused. I was like, "What's going on? Why are they
Yeah.
smashing a watermelon? Is that a
True.
new dance?" I literally, like, I was talking to 17. I was like, 17, am I getting old? Is that a new dance I've never? Is that like a Fortnite thing? Smashing a watermelon?
Oh, you never seen
No.
Gallagher?
No.
No, apparently, no, I've never seen it. But like, apparently, they were doing burlesque. It's like, oh,
Not gonna lie, the Ray felt like a middle school dance.
you
Well, there
stole
was
my
only
line.
6 people.
No, this was Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah, there was only 6 people.
Actually, it didn't stink. I will give Bakhan that. It didn't smell bad at all. Even in
Mm-mm.
the room with no AC, it didn't smell bad.
No.
So everyone showered, put on some fresh deodorant. So I'll give them kudos.
Yeah.
Everybody was being decent.
However, there is only one bad story I have for Bakhan. So Sunday, I go to the green room, and there's a bunch and I shit you not, this is not made up, this is actually real. You can actually talk to Fusion Ha because they taunted me about this. There are like 6 boxes of Taco Bell tacos, and when I went in there, all of them were empty. I was flipping the fuck out.
This is like the equivalent of like I asked for M&Ms but no green M&Ms.
Can I acknowledge the fact that when we first met Deacon, when we first met him, he was so timid and like quiet, and he never cussed. He didn't say anything bad about anyone. He's like, "Hi guys, fellow anime nerd here." He's like that meme. How do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah.
And now he's like talking trash, like, "Hey, they ran out of Taco Bell, blah 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 blah." Deke, and like Deke, you wouldn't like Deke when he's angry. Deke can smash.
Now he's the Sopranos Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. And if you really want,
which Steve Buscemi do I want to wake up to?
And if you really want to make his night, give him stuff in Spanish. Like give him sentences in Spanish.
We're still starting that TikTok channel, by the way. So overall, Deacon, what did you think about Bakhan? Like what were your pros, what were your cons, and what was your score of the convention?
The cons are that, it's super small, and that's all I can think of off the top of my head. It's super small, so there's not as many people, but there was enough people there to where the small space felt filled up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And their dealers and artist alley was bigger this year.
Yeah, she spent $170 in there.
Well, they had a staff rally too.
I mean, let the whole world know about that.
Yeah.
So
there she goes, spending my money again.
Support your local artist the way that my girlfriend does.
Yeah, it's like that one. It's like those people on TikTok. It's like, oh, how much are you gonna spend at the convention today? I'm gonna spend $0, and then like all sad, and they show how much they actually spent.
Yeah, I would like to share. Go ahead.
No, my boyfriend was like, hey, we should totally do that TikTok. And I'm like, no, because I know I'm going to go way over budget, and I do not need people knowing that I go way over budget. So
it's funny because every convention we go to, so it's a tradition for us to go to Walmart, to get stuff with like snacks, mixers, drinks, whatever we need. And so every time we go to Walmart, we always end up spending more at Walmart. And I'm not talking about food wise. Oh, look, this Walmart has this figurine. They have this figure.
Oh, they have a PlayStation 5 here.
They have PS5 here. They got oh, I didn't know that Ninja Turtles game came out.
Yeah, that's how it'd be. Especially we do that too at the so we go to Colossal, like the Kalahari on the Thursday before Colossal. We go to the Walmart like 5 minutes away, and that's pretty much what happens.
Dude, there's I'm not gonna say which Walmart because I know some of you fiends are listening. There's a Walmart that still has the CM Punk AEW Ultimate Edition. I'm about to go get it this weekend.
It's probably on clearance at this point.
Wow.
Which is good.
I would love to go to Colossal Con. I would love to go. We found out about it like back in April, but by the time we found out about it, it was like the resort's a little bit pricey at the moment. So we'll save that for another year.
Yeah, it's very
it's very pricey. That's why, like, for me, the way we've been doing it, I've been going since like 2021, the first time they're doing it in Texas. We always have like a group of people like splitting a room, splitting up one room, like 6 people. Oh, it comes out like $100. I'm like, okay, you can do that for 4 days. All right, awesome. Usually that helps a lot. So anybody out there who's like trying to figure out, like, oh my god, I wish I want to stay at this place, but I don't have the money. It's like, just ask around. It helps you with your budget, and you'll never know.
That's right. I will trade badges for sleeping floor. I got
at least a sleeping floor.
Just dude, all I need is somewhere to shower and like take a nap. Like I will I will go into lazy river and just sleep in a tube.
At least
Yeah,
And
maybe a little bit of food, maybe like a Taco Bell or something.
yeah,
Yes.
because
Yeah, they
most-
do have like a what is it, like a Whataburger next nearby.
but
Mhm.
they do have restaurants in the Kalahari,
yeah,
but they charge
They charge
resort
resort prices.
resort prices.
yeah. So
Yeah, because like we tried the pizza there and it tasted a little bleachy.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't worth it. Like
It wasn't worth it.
bad.
We got when I experienced it. It was okay, but not for that price. And if
Mhm.
anything, I would have rather have gone like, hey, do you want to go like Little Caesar or get like Domino's and just deliver it?
Yeah.
The
or
mac
pizza
and
Hut.
cheese place that just opened there, that was pretty good for the price.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
one slice of pizza at the Kalahari costs as much as one large carryout from Pizza Hut.
Yeah, exactly.
mhm.
As
So
a guy that spends so much money, like this is definitely not urging me to like check it out. I've never been to the Kalahari of any of the Kalaharis, so I'm like, do I
The,
even?
resort, the resorts are great. It's just that it's so expensive.
Yeah, it gets expensive, and like if you want
Fast.
if you want to save, like especially the water park, you have to pay like if you don't like have a room there, you have to pay like $150 just to go into the water park. But they do these things on Saturday night of Colossal Con. It's like they do a rave at the Wave, so you have to be like 21 and up. Basically, it's an adult water park.
Yeah, they have them at the other ones too. I know the ones that are ran by on Prime and East. I kind of know South too.
Yeah.
South is a little bit different because it's ran by somebody else, but I mean those look fun. I may attend one of those. I'm not gonna do it this year, but I may attend one of those at some point. I'm trying to play one of them at some point too, whether it's any of the three. But I just to be able to be in the water and listen to music just sounds so much fun. I've done it in Vegas and it was pretty fun for a different party.
So real quick, I just want to get it out of the way. Deacon, what is your score at BotCon?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Babe, what do you give BotCon?
Also 9.5.
9.5?
Yes.
Why 9.5?
Why not? It
All
was
right.
the
Well,
purpose that you
all
picked.
right. So to interrupt before Deacon ends up sleeping on the couch, the official average score of BotCon for 2024 from Geeks 5 Ever will be 8.5, putting them tied with Anime Expo. Yay. All right. So to kind of talk about the convention that we're actually here to talk about, we're calling it the road to Delta H-Con. So the road to Delta H-Con was met with a lot of obstacles. For one, there were 2 conventions prior to Delta. There was Ecchi Expo Dallas in Dallas, Texas. Obviously, it's in the name. And then you had BotCon in Houston. Not to mention there were other conventions those weekends that we didn't go to. We knew when, or nobody could review them. So we can't be at all the cons, right? Yeah. Not to mention there was some non-anime conventions. So there was, and then so leading up to so Delta is right around the corner now. Everyone's getting ready. They got the guests, they got the panels. Everyone's trying to get ready. And then Hurricane Beryl hits Houston. And so 2.3 million people went without power, including the hotel itself. The hotel did not have power. How do I know? Because I called. Because I was afraid that I was going to have to adjust my
schedule.
Yeah, well, I was going to have to adjust my reservation because they weren't checking people in. So there's no way we can check in for a Thursday reservation if they don't have power. So there was, like I said, 2.3 million people without power, like a lot of property damage, a lot of people. So this affected the entire city of Houston. Unfortunately, all joking aside, several people did die. I think the death toll the last time I checked was at 11 people. And this is just from the heat. For any of you that live in Houston that had to go through the no power situation, it was horrible. It sucked. It was bad. People got violent. People got violent towards the leadership of Houston, towards the leadership of Texas. And so once Delta hit, it was interesting because I don't know if anyone here stayed. Well, Deacon didn't.
No, I got sick 2 days before the con.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I have, and because I live with my mom, because she's Mexican, she was telling me, don't go. There's too much flooding. There's alligators probably on the street, and
Brujerías
there's no loud.
is
They
There's no
fooling
they
loud.
in the
they
street.
they probably saw that that Photoshop thing of a shark and highway
Yeah,
on the highway.
there's floating chanclas in the water.
Right. I'd be like, don't go. Just stay home.
La Llorona's out there. Don't go.
Yeah, she said
Yeah.
that. I'd be like, you remember La Llorona? I'd be like, oh no.
Yeah,
So-
I was still in California.
I know.
during
I was
Pharaoh, and I felt really terrible because I was really thinking about everybody that was going on to Houston because it was like, damn man. And then somebody was joking at me. He's like, oh man, you left at the right place at the right time. I'm like, well,
I know.
like-
I was mad. I was mad because you were posting. Oh, still stuck in LA. We'll be back soon. I'm like, you son of a biscuit. Trying
I
so
s-
hard not to cuss, but I was like,
Meanwhile, I was up
ooh,
at Disney.
Sonic. You over there enjoying Disney, smiling. I'm over here like I'm about to get violent. It's like, that's it. That's
I know, I know. It's just like poor timing, which
Walmart, I'm coming for you.
it's like that's it, Walmart.
You're next. So it's I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you didn't have to go through that, but a lot of people did go through it.
Yeah.
So to kind of like, so Delta did reinsure us that the con was going to happen, that everything was good to go.
Mhm.
Most of the guests were already in town for the convention. But like, it's interesting because different people have different point of views that what led up to the convention, during the convention. Was the convention perfect? Absolutely not. Did the convention have a lot of flaws? Yes. But was the convention fun? To me, it was. It just depends on the perspective of the individual that was at the con, because we have different people here. So we have a cosplay guest. We have we have a music, like, I guess
The rave guy.
Well, I don't
Audio.
want to say rave guy. What's the actual professional term?
DJ.
I guess, yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
DJ.
I mean, I am a
Whatever
musical
music-
guest for sure.
I was gonna say, aren't you like the DJ coordinator?
No, I don't work for Delta H Con. I was actually booked as a guest for Delta H Con.
Okay. So, and then there's me, the panelist, plus we host our big party every year. Delta H Con, the party we host at Delta, is our WrestleMania parties.
Yeah.
So we usually have our big party every year. This one was definitely a little bit smaller than normal. Even though we spent more money, I feel like we had less people. I felt like the con overall had less people, but we'll get into that. So we'll start off with Sevi. So you were a cosplay guest.
Correct. It was definitely a lot more stressful than I intended the weekend to start off with. I was one of those guests that was picked up very, very towards the end because my my application got lost in the email chain, and by the time I, wanted to check in and double check, and they told me they didn't have it. The tornado hit, so I had to wait a little bit longer. But after that, it was pretty much smooth sailing until I got there. I could not check into my hotel room until like around 4 or 5 on Thursday because they were so overbooked in their hotel room with all the people there that were affected by the hurricane, which is understandable. Table setup was chaos. But in terms of like the overall con, I felt it was actually a little bit bigger than it was last year. For sure, because last year we had one of the bigger cons up in northern Texas at the exact same weekend as Delta H. Because I've never seen Artist Alley that full in so long. Because I think normally you'd have people trickling in about 10:30 or 11, but we had maybe 20 to 50 people like just barreling into Artist Alley at like 10 a.m. sharp all 3 days for every day to Artist Alley. I don't think the panels are very well, like there was some good ones, but not as they were in previous years. The cosplay contest was definitely a lot smaller this year, and thank goodness I did not want to have to deal with the chaos that was last year's con, because for those of you who don't know, it was 37 skits and 60-something walk-ons for that contest, and they went almost 2 hours over. They designated cosplay contest time, which was not fun. And I had a panel at 9 p.m. and the costume contest is supposed to end at 8. We still did not end at 8, but thankfully I still made it to my panel on time. I'm drawing a huge blank.
Okay, so I'm guessing you haven't really done an interview. You haven't really done like a podcast where you talk about the con or anything like that before.
No, I haven't. But I figured starting off with the bigger parts and then moving to the smaller ones would be the better way to handle it, so it doesn't go from small to big. But either way, we can.
So the way it works is we kind of like kind of what you did. You kind of go over like some stuff, but then we go into detail as to like, okay, what did you think of these? Like, what panels you attend, stuff like that. So
Okay.
you'll pick up on it real quick. Trust me, everyone
Gotcha.
does. So
Yeah.
I will say something. I do want to say something about the venue this year. So we've stayed with them for many years. So for those of you that aren't aware that didn't attend the convention, only a third of the hotel was shut down due to the hotel catching fire. Sonic's not even here.
What?
Yeah, so the
Oh.
hotel caught fire, and so a third of the hotel was not accessible. All right, hold on, let me wait for Sonic. Put on his headset. Hey, Sonic, you missed the part where I said the hotel. A third of the hotel was shut down because it burned.
Really? According to who?
Yeah. Well, no, it was like months ago, but apparently there was a big old fire.
Oh wow, really?
Yep, you could tell because they closed down the hallway. So when you go inside the elevators, when you look at the balcony where the elevators are,
Yeah.
to your right, that hallway, that single hallway where we used to have the rooms,
Mhm.
our room, they shut down that hallway for each floor except for the third floor
Because there was a fire.
because like there was a fire and it burned so they were reconstructing all the floors. So a third of the hotel.
Wow.
That explains it.
I
Right,
thought
'cause
they were just renovating the entire side of that building.
So that's the good thing about being journalism podcast, that people tend to share a lot. Like 80% of the stuff that we are told we can't share ever, but the stuff that we can share, I can confirm. I talked to the hotel. I talked to Sarah. Hi, Sarah, if you're watching, how you doing? Hi, Sarah, if you're watching, or any of the Delta HCon staff. So I did talk to multiple people, and I can confirm, yes, there was a fire. So that's why a third of the hotel was shut down. Plus, the workers that were there that weekend were not part of Centerpoint. They were there for some kind of convention meetup kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of workers there that looked like electricians that were there to work on the power grid for Houston, but apparently that was not the case. So I talked to them. I was like, hey, I talked to them. I talked to the staff. So I was asking, I got curious. So I asked questions. And yeah, so there was a lot going on. With the hotel cut down by a third, they were overbooked because they screwed up and they gave away our room block. So every year we get the same 3 rooms that are connected for our room party. And this year they gave away 2 of our rooms. And I don't know if you saw it, but there was a room with the sign. It's like a little pink banner, like a flag. It said girl bosses. No, it said something girl bosses. It's like a pink flag with some kind of unicorn goblin looking creature on it. It was on the you probably didn't see it, but they took up one of our rooms, and I was very upset because that's our block. We book that block every year and we get those 3 rooms connected. So they had to relocate us. The AC for the most part didn't work in a lot of the rooms.
Oh.
It worked, but not
fully.
Not fully.
Yeah, I was in that boat too. It was I think about 74 the entire weekend, which is not nearly cold enough for 3 people in one room.
We got a comment from Sarah of Delta H. So the hotel had a fire on the roof, and the rooms were shut down due to water damage from where they had to put out the fire. The fire was contained on the roof.
Okay, so yes, thank you. Hi, Sarah. I did say, Sarah, if you're watching, how you doing? Yes, that is true. I did forget a lot of the detail because Sarah did share that with me, and the hotel itself shared it with me because some of the staff members of
They
the
do.
hotel, believe it or not, watch the show.
What?
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? That's insane.
We
Considering the
made it.
fact that, like, yeah, right? Because it's like, oh, well, your numbers on YouTube aren't that like big. So why do like how is it that you have a lot of people watching? Believe it or not, we have the channel on Facebook. We're back on Facebook, by the way. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and sometimes Instagram. And so like people catch clips, and plus we're on TikTok. So those generate like thousands of views, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
TikTok, I could vouch for that. That TikTok, I don't know why that you get more views on TikTok than sometimes on YouTube.
Oh yeah. So the on the Facebook portion of it, it doesn't like the Facebook app portion of it, but the YouTube portion of the show, like it works great.
Yeah, it works great on. Yeah.
Right, on YouTube it works great. So Sarah, thank you for watching on YouTube. On Facebook. Sorry. So I think so, yes. So obviously a third of the hotel was shut down due to reconstruction of the, as somebody that's done that before, like that cut into it. Plus there were other people. So they were cut out, right? But I think the hotel, like overall, like they were so accommodating, they were so easy to work with, like nobody got an attitude. Like at least nobody on our side got an attitude. Like on the staff side, I noticed they didn't get an attitude either. But okay, let me rephrase that. On the staff side, no one got an attitude. But as far as us, the con goers, I don't think anyone got an attitude. Hopefully nobody did, because it kind of reflects as a community. We checked in Thursday, we didn't have any problems. We checked in Thursday, checked out Monday, so we didn't have any issues. As a matter of fact, it was amazing because we hung out in the pool until like 3-4 in the morning, just in the hot tub in the pool, just chilling. Like, hey, yeah, don't we have? Doesn't Delta start like in 6 hours? Yeah, we gotta catch a nap. And they woke up early to see if the water was coming from our. They woke us up early to see if the water was coming from our room. So overall, like I really like that hotel. The hotel that is great, but they've had so many setbacks: the fire, the hurricane. There was any damage from the hurricane, the water leakage. Yeah, so there was so much going on, and like I felt like everything, and I got to give credit to Delta for this. It seems like every other year or every year, there's always some kind of obstacle that challenges the con. Like, remember the year before there was one year where like there was a hurricane and like there were so many abandoned cars on the freeway.
2019, yeah, that was one. 2019, and then COVID,
then 2020, and then the year they were the same weekend as Comic Palooza, then BotCon. And then this year they're finally on a different weekend as everybody else. Another hurricane.
They're the convention that it's like they're the scruffy one. Is like, okay, the underdog.
They're Randy from South Park. I didn't hear no bell.
They're Randy from South Park.
Yeah, so I feel like Delta has been so far the little engine that could, because they've like, and I'm not trying to
underdog.
I'm not gonna like kiss up because Sarah's watching because Sarah wants to hear the constructive criticism, but legitimately I believe that Delta, it has been the little engine that could, because they've had so much thrown at it, and they are still here. They're still going. I feel like Delta's successful, at least in my opinion. As far as this year goes, though, and we'll get into the full review in just a moment, but I feel like this Delta was one of their better Deltas in a while. Because last year, I think we gave them like an 8 out of 10. I feel like this year their score is definitely higher for sure. Because there are some complaints I do have, mostly with some of the panels. I don't know how, Sevi, you felt like. What panels did you attend?
I didn't really get to attend a lot of panels because I was mainly stuck at the main events, or I was stuck at my table, or things like that. So I didn't get to go see many of them. But I know a couple of friends of mine went to the panels because I have a schedule of where, like, if I was going to be stuck somewhere, they could go to another panel. I know they did love Ask the Dad panels. They always love going to those. I know I personally did the Waifu Husbando War panel for a little bit before I got just so exhausted due to the cosplay contest that same day, and I had to help operate with that. I have seen 2 of Little Squid Princess panels because he did the same ones at AggieCon. His are always really good. I didn't get to see Axels or Twin Capricorns, but I'm sure theirs were really good as well.
The reason why I asked you if you attended any panels, because you were also a panelist, like you say, you did the Hisbando one. So to kind of talk about it, so I will say this: I normally do not attend other people's panels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to attend other people's panels. Is pretty much me being bluntly, because like I have a different method of doing my panels. But the one panel you did, the pictograph one, I thought that was really funny. And I'm so happy that you guys are team players. Like, you guys are great, by the way. You guys are great hosts because I kept trolling y'all the whole time.
Oh, that was
And y'all just
you?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was wondering that. I was just like, listen, man, I can't draw under pressure. Don't do this to me,
Yeah,
man.
I that was me. Like they were. So the whole point of the panel is they draw like from like, I don't know how it works, but they would draw like random names like Husbando, and I guess they look up on their phone what they look like. So they're given a time limit to draw the character on a whiteboard, and like each team has to they have to raise their hand and try to guess. Like, you're supposed to raise your hand and get picked and guess, and if you get it right, your team gets a point. Unfortunately, I was there, so it got chaotic.
Yeah.
So as soon as they just draw a straight line. SpongeBob, a jackal. Is it a jackal? It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's a jackal. It's pretty much putting it shortly, but I would yell random names like SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo. No, it's SpongeBob.
Yeah. It was definitely fun. I think the first round was 30 seconds. Second round was 15, and the lightning round was like 10
seconds.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was interesting. It was fun. Definitely, I like that. That was pretty funny. I like comedy panels. I thought that one was great. I really hope that you guys come back next year and do that because
I know we're doing it for AggieCon. I know we're doing it for AggieCon for sure because that's Jade and Oliver's area of living, and then I have family there. I'm hoping to guest at AggieCon because I won Best in Journeyman with them last year, so I'm hoping they ask me to guest. But if I don't, no harm, no foul.
I will. So I did attend. I actually, and believe it or like this is me sharing with Sonic, dude. I actually attended several panels that weren't mine.
Really?
Oh no.
Yeah, I attended. They had a dating game, a family-friendly one.
Hell last froze over.
Yeah, I know, right? It was because like, bro, like, so the room was hot, and so it got hot because like it was fine when there was only like 2 people, but then we started accumulating people.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived 20 minutes away, so I went and got all our fans, and we put all the fans in the room. And it wasn't like super hot, but it was like it wasn't freezing. So I was like, I'm gonna go down to the con because it's colder. All right, I better do my job and review the con. So I started attending panels, and like I went to the dating game one, which sorry if anybody's friends with the dating game individual. I really didn't like it. Because it felt like they kept choosing the same people over and over and over. But that's not my complaint. Somebody else said that complaint. I didn't like it because I don't know, maybe it just wasn't my cup of tea, but there were a couple of people that did complain.
That was Black Swan Cosplay's panel, if I remember correctly, or was it somebody else?
I didn't catch the name because I showed up like after they started.
Gotcha.
It was somebody in a maid outfit, girl, black hair, short black hair. Does that ring a bell?
Maybe, yeah. I think that was Black Swan, but I have the booklet around here somewhere. I can find it and check. But I'm pretty sure she had at least one dating game panel this year. I know.
I think it's the same one. So I thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I did get a couple complaints. Which overall, I feel like they could there's a lot of room for improvement. So I think they should take that consideration that criticism into consideration. It's that criticism is the reason why we no longer do speed dating. Speed dating sucks.
Mm-hmm.
We do single social gathering where it's pretty much like, all right, everyone
it's
a mixer. That's all it is. Like a swap meet, but with friendships.
Yeah, friend meet.
Friend me. There you go. That sounds bad though. That's
Doesn't friend.
it does sound bad.
Freudian slip number 2.
Oh dear. Well, I'm glad I did not do a dating panel because I normally do like 18 plus dating game panels.
Those
and
are great though.
Those are my salt and vinegar. Those are my favorite kind of panels to do.
Can I
Those
just say
are
I've been
funny.
wanting to host a dating game panel?
So, believe
But,
it or
like-
not, there's a petition that came out, and I think Sonic was part of the group that wanted this to happen. So we used to host dating game as well, but we called it the Super. It was legitimately called the Super Cosplay Dating Game Show, and it added so many different elements to it. Like it wasn't just the dating game; it wasn't like we turned it into an actual competition because, you know, in the dating game, you have a bachelorette, and they choose a contestant, and that's all she wrote. They ask questions, they choose a contestant. There was so much more to ours because it was pure. We did it based off of comedy. We even introduced the money in the bank concept.
And for people out there who don't know, that's basically you get a briefcase if you want to like cash in, which means you want to like get involved. You do that. That's basically what the simplest terms.
So to kind of explain how it works. So pretend Savvy's the bachelorette, right? All right, and then we have Deacon and we have Safi and we have Sonic as the contestants. Instead of picking one, you pick two. After you pick your two, we'll show you the one you didn't get. All right, this is who you didn't pick Taco Bell boy. All right, go sit down, Deacon Rap. So they'll have a contest. You get to pick the contest as long as they consent to the contest, and it can be anything you want. Because the panel's 18 plus, as long as it's within the con rules, as long as it's not breaking the law, and as long as both parties consent. And so they would get so crazy. And so the winner of the competition is decided by the audience. And that's who your date becomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are the money in the bank holder, you can cash in the briefcase and challenge the winner or include yourself in the competition to win the date.
But no
So
ladders, tables, and chairs.
No, of course not. I
No.
said within the rules. I said without breaking the law. If I put Deacon Rap through a table right now, he'd be, well, we're here.
Well, no,
gather
I
in
can take a
memory.
bump through a table, bro. I can take one.
Dude, most people can't take a bump through a table because the tables are in a wrestling, and trust me, I did the pro wrestling. They will either take parts of it at the bottom off, or they'll saw it off a little bit. That's why when the girls, if you ever watch WWE, when the girls go through the table, it doesn't break. That's because they didn't saw it enough. That was actually a prop malfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Because those things hurt, and if you don't
Yeah.
take off the metal parts, they can cut you big time.
Yeah.
So if I put Deacon through a table 20 feet in the air, well, we're here to gather today to honor the memory of Deacon Rap.
Wait. From 20 feet. Well, I thought you were gonna just power bomb me to a table. I didn't know you were gonna go up on a ladder and carry me on your back and shit.
Yeah,
That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's
Just
exactly how
saying.
it works. But I kind of lost my train of thought, but
He's got to do the
So-
sparkle. He's got to.
Jesse.
lay it on.
He's got to do a super intense spot that Dave Meltzer will bring up for 5 minutes and then never should bring it up again.
yeah,
Jesse. So it's actually our time to go.
that's
But-
okay. Yeah, go ahead and plug in your stuff before you go.
Yeah, but actually, before I go, how are my panels?
So we're gonna steal a couple from you, just letting you know.
Yeah, but how are my panels?
Oh, they were fun. They were great. We actually we added our own twist to it because you know how I am.
Wait, are your twist to what?
So the Power Ranger one, we actually went over the lore. So we didn't just go over the lore of the show. We went over the lore of the comics, the backstage stuff that happened backstage, the storyline is and we went over a bit of the multiverse. We didn't get very far. I think we got to Time Force or Dino Thunder, but we included the canon of the comics because you do know the comics are canon to the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And so you do know there's a multiverse, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So plus we went over the actual backstage stuff like, oh yeah, this is the season where David Yost walked off the set because they were making homophobic slurs towards him and all this stuff. And this is the sale, like, oh, during season 2, they were like, we brought up sales, toy sales, we brought up all kinds of like actual like, because we didn't just go over the history of the Power Rangers, we went actual like the history of the fandom
Of the
Gotcha.
franchise.
of the
Yeah.
franchise itself, like toy sales and all that stuff.
Yeah, because like one thing we do talk about is like how when we get to Time Force, we talk about the ending of Time Force, but then we also talk about how it ends in the Sentai series. And
We only covered Power Rangers because Power Rangers, there's so much lore for Power Rangers that there wasn't enough time to cover. We referenced the Sentai names, but we didn't reference the Sentai history.
yeah,
The only Sentai history we referenced was for like the first 3 seasons.
gotcha. What about the Husbando panel?
Oh, that one we turned into a versus panel.
Okay, and what else did I have? oh, Tagachi's Legacy. How'd that go?
I didn't run that one. Tara ran it.
Who Terra? Oh, Terra Bite. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I remember. I know Terra is Astrid, so yeah. But thank you so much for running my panels, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Go ahead and plug in your stuff and get off my show.
Okay. My name is Deacon Rap. I'm a nerdy / otaku / Power Ranger from San Antonio, Texas. You can find me at Deacon Rap, just how it's spelled on the screen, and our names aren't showing up. The DEACONRAP. This weekend, I'm going to be performing at Anime STX. Me and Chuck Huber are going to be doing a tribute to Yu Yu Hakusho. And then I'm going to be at More Phenomenal Expo, where I'm doing a tribute to JDF. And then Colossal Con, I'm doing the Power Rangers, the Husbando, and the Initial D panel. And lastly, the tour ends. We are going to San Japan. What am I doing? I have no idea. But I'm going.
But buy him Taco Bell.
Yes, please buy me Taco Bell.
Because
Because
apparently
I'm
he
a
can't-
starving artist, and I need Taco Bell to survive.
That's the only thing he eats.
Taco Bell and Mountain Dew.
That's the only thing, because I could give him to like a legitimate Mexican
Well,
restaurant.
Eminem eats Taco Bell and Mountain Dew.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, remember, there was, I can't remember if it was Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent, or somebody with Aftermath at the time, but they thought Eminem was weird because all he did was eat Taco Bell and Mountain Dew. They didn't realize how big he would get. And even John Cena. Mark Henry said that all John Cena would drink was Diet Mountain Dew.
You know, there's better Mexican food like, I don't know, chile con carne, guisada.
Can you please stop talking gibberish?
I'm talking Spanish.
You sound like you're talking gibberish.
Yikes.
Wow.
Tris and Pete's
Yeah,
Deacons
that's a big
Internal
yikes.
Systems.
All right, Deacon, get off my show.
Bye, guys.
Please go.
All right, so we want to address some comments before we continue the conversation. This is for you, Sevi. They did answer the question that the Sunday dating panel was by Black Swan, but there was also a late Saturday one. I didn't know about the Saturday one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I did a little celebratory dance when I saw it to my lonesome, and I would just mouth, I was right, and then just, proceeded. So I did a silent little victory dance. That's fine.
Bro, not the gibberish comments. Rest in peace, Deacon's intestinal system. Sentai only had 2 appearances technically in Power Rangers. I think it was more than that, actually. They usually don't break away or use prop tables. So the tables are legit tables, but they saw them and removed parts to make them props. So they are considered, because they have, when you work a wrestling show, you have the tables that are props, then you have the tables, that are just regular tables. I digress. So Delta had like a great amount of panels this year. I remember going to yours. I remember checking out the rave, which, the dance was actually pretty cool. I actually checked it out and, kind of stuck around for a bit, which is weird. There were some panels I thought were great and interesting. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is actually much better than I thought. We ended up running Deacon Rap's panels for him, though, because he canceled and he got sick. And so we're like, I didn't want Deacon's panels to go unhosted. So I'm like, you know what? We'll run your panels for you. And so our 5 panels became 8 panels during the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ran karaoke. Those of you who are watching, we ran the karaoke Friday and Saturday.
I heard my child was roped into both of them, and I got extremely concerned for their sleep schedule because they barely sleep enough as it is.
Right. I mean, I think she was more worried. Like she was one of the few people freaking out about me not sleeping because
Yeah, because I do the same thing to her.
because I told her like I haven't slept since Wednesday. She's like, it's Saturday morning. I know. Well, we took good care of her. We made sure she was safe and she got home safe. So that we did. Like I made her a promise that we would get her back. She wanted to stick around, so we did keep our promise on that one. The Friday, what's up?
I said I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a problem at all. That's what we, we do take. We do try to make sure everybody's okay. Well, there's a lot that happens that we do that's not a part of the con that we do for the people at the con.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, Saturday, I bought everyone McDonald's. Right, I bought because it was hot and spicy's and McDoubles and McNuggets. I didn't buy everybody like a Big Mac or a quarter pounder. So I just bought burgers. I spent $180 on food to feed everybody. And I got like $40 back from everybody pitching in. But everyone ate. Like anytime somebody showed up, I'm like, eat. No, eat. There's food. Eat. Like don't. I was like, Grandma, let me take out my strap. I said, eat. So we fed everybody, we allow people to use, since it's 3 rooms, we have 3 showers. We have 3 bathrooms, 3 showers. So there's never a line for one. So we let people shower, go use the bathroom. I, for one, hate public restrooms. I thought the dealer's room, I also got to check out the dealer's room. I got to check out the artist alley. I got to check out everything this year.
Do the dealers still have like that green filter lights and all that?
I don't think they did.
No, because
like when you go in there, like there's like, especially when you like take photos, there's like a green yellowish like filter. I don't know.
Oh yeah. The light was like the same as last year.
Oh
but
yeah.
I never take photos anyway. So this year, believe it or not, bro, I didn't cosplay.
Just went casual
at all. No, I didn't even go casual. I went formal like the entire weekend. I was tejano, vato. I had my button-down collared shirt. I had a vest. I had my vaquero hat. I had the boots. Bro, I was rolling tejano the whole weekend.
I will say they did have a lot of different new dealers in the room this year. I think I only recognized like 2 or 3 from last year, which is not inherently a bad thing, but I know I was looking forward to seeing, some of the same shop owners I were last year.
Sorry, I got to give this to Sonic. Sonic, there goes your answer.
Yeah, that was about to say that we're Halagon. Like, yeah, there you
go.
There you go. Tejano represent. Yeah, so that's like we're going. So I'm taking Geeks Fiber in a new direction. As the leadership, I'm enforcing a dress code on myself. Besides, my grandfather used to wear vaquero hats all the time, so I'm kind of going in that route. But Sephi, you were there. You were a part of the rave. You had your own booth. So did you attend any other panels?
I have to think really hard. Actually, no, I did attend one. Kohei was doing Kohei Hattori, my fellow musical guest that was at the rave/concert. He did a concert. It was awesome. Like, it was incredible. But he did a history of anime panel on Sunday. I went there to support him. I will say, like, one of my regrets, because I kind of did this is like the first time I've kind of done it this way, first or second, where I've spent most of my time at my table because just fans would come by and I owe my time to them. Anytime I'm a guest, I feel like, not that I feel, it's the right thing to do. I owe my time to them and I should be making myself available as much as possible. I did do 3 panels. One of them was I call it the Anime DM panel, which originally was supposed to be how I developed Anime DM. Anime DM is like, you take anime, take the E in anime, capitalize it, and add DM, anime dance music. And it's not really a genre, it's like a lifestyle, a style where certain EDM genres go well with anime. I was going to talk about like my history with it. It's kind of like a Sefi Hakubi Q&A, but we added Toki, who is the other DJ, and Kohei, and we pretty much did a moderated Q&A, and then also we took questions from the audience. I also did a 2-hour. I taught people how to DJ, so I brought my gear, and we had a couple people from the audience that were brave enough. After I was like, "Hey, no judgment." I was sitting right there 20 years ago, like y'all, wondering how everything works. We're all cool. And I got someone who never touched any DJ equipment or knew what the difference between house and trance and hardstyle is. And I got them to mix just by cutting out the fluff and showing them like in less than an hour or maybe less than a half hour. It took, like, depending on how people go through, we had a couple of people go through in less time getting the basics down, and they can go out and DJ themselves. Now, I mean, of course, it's going to take more practice, but we got them started. And then finally on Sunday, one of my favorite panels to do is called the Attitude Era of Anime, which is if you were a Gen Y, like, or maybe Gen X and early millennial from the that grew up in the 90s, like 90s kids, right? Anime was not as freely available as it is now. Actually, the only anime that I didn't know it was called anime until maybe 2000, 2001. And the only way you can get anime is by knowing somebody from Japan and bringing in tapes and tape trading and going to conventions.
Suncoast.
I mentioned Suncoast at one point. That's kind of like midway. Before then, you would go to conventions, and the main event wasn't the cosplay contest or the rave or maybe not even the voice actors. It was the video rooms and the dubbing rooms. And when I say dubbing, there's a technique called dubbing, where you take two VCRs or multiple VCRs, you daisy chain them, you have your master tape playing, and you have everybody else with their VHS, their blank VHSs, just recording what was being carried over. And may God help you, you're the last one in the daisy chain. But that's a panel I could get into otherwise. But yeah, I would say overall, Delta HCon was very fun considering everything. Like I would be lying if I said that I've felt anything from the hurricane, because I'm not from Houston. I'm from San Antonio. But I love going to Houston whenever I can. It doesn't take me long to get to Houston, and I've gone to Houston for no reason other than like, oh, I want to go to Yukaku, or I want to hang out with some friends that I know in Houston, just because. So every time I can go to Houston, I would. But it was a little bit weird. I know getting there, I got there Thursday night because I had to be there Friday morning. Usually I get there the day of, which, I mean, it's fine. I'd rather be there the night before. But I was traveling there the night before, and already my phone alarms were going off twice. There was a unfortunate incident that happened with a police officer, and then there was also carbon monoxide warning somewhere. And then all of a sudden we were driving to the hotel and noticed like a bunch of streetlights were off. And you're supposed to stop at one of those, but sometimes you don't see that. So
especially if the street is pitch black.
Yeah, so people would zoom through, and even if I did stop, or I almost did that too. Like, it's like I caught it at the last minute. I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me stop and let me take more time to go through. I got to the hotel. Yeah, it wasn't hot, but it wasn't as cool as it should be. Friday, we came down there early. I fed my family because my family was with my wife and my daughter were there. They were helping me out at my table. They pretty much work in the Hakubiverse team anyway. So we all travel as a team. We're a traveling circus of anime rave. Because my wife kind of DJs, but that's not her main thing. She works as my manager and helps me out with the table. And then our daughter, who's not big, she doesn't like loud noise. She likes to be chill and quiet, but she helps but she's a very good worker and helps out on the table and makes crafts and stuff. So, but like, yeah, they were all very helpful. We got a very good welcoming by the staff. I want to say their name was Dimitri. That so shout out to Dimitri who welcomed us in and gave me a lot of info right then and there. It wasn't hard for me to find anybody. It was my first time at Delta HCon. Usually I try to meet and get along with all the staff. I'm very personable. So I only got to talk to Sarah maybe twice that whole weekend. I understand that Sarah's very busy. A lot of people can be very busy that weekend. I run my own shows too, and it can be brutal. I've got a show that I kind of collaborating with in Dallas this weekend, and even though I am performing, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I have to work at too. So I'll be running around pretty there too. But let's see what else was going on. I got to. It's interesting. I don't really talk to voice actors as much anymore. Nothing I want to unload right now, but it's one of those, like, I feel like it's a different world that I'm in. I will say that when the ice broke, all the voice actors I've talked to were very wonderful people, very insightful. They were, they talked to me like, I'm a person, and I feel like I could talk to them, because sometimes you'll meet one of those that think that they're too good for you, or they're too good for anybody.
I've only really met I met a lot of voice actors. We've had different people on the show. We've had John on the show multiple times. There are times where he'll just pop up, he's like, "Hey, send me the link. I'm coming on." Okay.
Yeah, I met John before. He's awesome. He's a really cool. He's really good people.
We've had John Bailey on the show. He was great. We had the 80s, 90s Ninja Turtle cast on the show. We even had Tom Ruger on the show.
Yeah,
everyone's been the creator of Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures, and they're all it's so crazy how most people are just so chill. But there's I'm not gonna say their names, but there's a couple voice actors, and there's a couple of, I want to say, industry individuals that
can rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, they just come off the wrong way, and I've had a couple of run-ins with them.
It's just so interesting and weird that once you get into the business, if I decided to stay a fan and not even get involved in this, how much it's that ignorance is bliss thing. A lot of people that I grew up respecting, I probably would still respect them and just be ignorant about all the sins and all that stuff behind them. And then when you're in the industry, you find out what their true colors are. And even sometimes some of the people that you think are brutal, that just look brutal because, I don't know, they give out that vibe. I know with my goatee, I scare children with this goatee. I think I'm some kind of grizzly bear, and I'm like, no, I'm a very nice fluffy kitty. I do, although I do want to get rid of this. This is itching me, but I got to save it for this weekend. But everybody I've talked to, what's funny is Brian Massey. I've only met him one time 12 years ago at San Japan, and I didn't think he would remember me. I was not going to be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I was about ready to reintroduce myself, but he recognized me, and I thought that was so cool. I can't remember people that I've only met one time 10 years ago. I forgot a lot of people's names that weekend. That's how awful I am. I try. My wife and I try. We write down, we take photos and whatnot. But yeah, talk with Brian. John Allen was so hilarious. I don't remember if it was said that he did stand-up comedy. He had that comedian vibe. He can do it, and he can do it well. James Larrabee, I learned a lot of knowledge from him. I believe he teaches. I thought about going the voice actor route before, and then I found something else that was making me happy and making a lot of money very easy, very quickly. But I thought about pretty much getting back into it, not necessarily to make money, but also I want to support and respect the business too, because I have friends that are voice actors and I want to help them out too. So meeting all of them was very insightful, and I'm happy to have worked with them. Kohei I've met before. We actually worked together before. We were headlining Kawakan earlier this year, and it turned. I was actually surprised then that he stayed for my set and hyped my set up, and now we worked together. Now we were working together again, and we both we were working each other's sets, and well, he worked my set more as well, and it was a lot of energy, and we became more friends then, and now we were already talking about like working together in future projects outside of cons. Like we were talking about possibly performing in Japan together. Like I'm trying to make that happen. Hopefully, in the next 2 years. I've got some things that I'm working on. I got some huge projects that I'm working on, but I want to kind of add that and take my friends with me whenever I can. The rave itself.
No,
I'm sorry.
I was just saying yeah.
Comment or. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, so the rave itself was also interesting. Like, there's a lot of things I have to consider. You see, I'm used to playing for crowds that are thousands and all that, and this is not me like feeling a way or another. It's one of those like DJs get energy from. It's like whenever I play, I feel like I'm Goku getting something the spirit bomb. It's like, give me your energy. And when I've played like massives like San and Tokyo or what's that show in Louisiana, New Orleans, MechaCon. When I played MechaCon or RealmsCon when it was at the ABC at the arena, just playing it, like you feel that vibe and you feel like you can do no wrong because you're always going to have a crowd. So most of the genres that if I was up to me, I would play trance and hands up and hardcore. For those that know what that is, I would play those genres primarily. This one, because considering that Houston's been ravaged and we may not have had the crowd that, or I say we, I mean,
it's kind of
I guess
I think that's debatable. Like, it could Delta H-Con have had the crowd? Could it have had more people? Could it have less people? There's a lot of debate in that question as a whole, because for one, even if let's just say hypothetically the hurricane never hit. Let's just say the hurricane doesn't exist, never happened, yada yada yada. We still had 2 other conventions that prior to that we know of, right? There was also Anime Expo, which a lot of people, I know a lot of people besides Keyblade Sonic that went to Anime Expo that missed BotCon that normally would have gone to BotCon. A couple of people that still were recovering financially from Anime Expo that didn't go to Delta, and there were people.
Anime Expo and Delta.
That's
Anime
Expo, BotCon, because it was during BotCon, but there was also Ecchi Expo Dallas.
Yeah, that happened the weekend of Anime, the weekend before Anime Expo and all these conventions, and it's like, a lot of stuff was going on because it's like, there's a couple of people I knew years ago to be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Anime Expo one day, and then I guess this is the year they decided to go. Or they probably save up for other conventions too, because not just Anime Expo. Also,
we got Dragon Con around the corner.
Dragon Con, San Diego Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con,
Colossal Con.
Yeah, and also like there's also something I've noticed too, because I was thinking about Delta H before as well. I noticed that everything was announced it was like a month or 2 months until like any news or activity came out about it. Like I think Bauer Toki was like the first guest now, and that was like for a while, and then I got announced Koina. I don't remember the order, and then all of a sudden like the whole lineup dropped like the month of. Usually, and I'm not like, how do I say this? Far be it from me to tell anybody how to run a con, because even I've done everything except run a con. I ran raves, I ran mini cons, but I also was a project manager, and usually for me, I plan things like at least 9 months out, and I have stuff rolling off of that too. Part of it's because, as you know, back before then, like long time ago, when I would, and I still kind of do sometimes, play for smaller crowds, and then all of a sudden I hear like, "Oh, you were there," or "Oh, this was going on." Like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like I didn't know it was going on, or they wish that they regret missing out, but they've never heard it. And like, I mean, there was a friend that when I was at MechaCon, which was a huge show, but I got announced super late, and actually I wasn't. I was announced, but like the day of, which is weird. A friend of mine that I haven't seen in 10 years didn't know I was there, but she was running Artist Alley. She was working Artist Alley, and we kind of missed that connection. So like me, I tried like my whole thing is I work in, I also do some marketing and advertising. I kind of stage things. So it's like, maybe it's like I mean, it could be anything, but I know like whenever I get brought onto something, I have my own label, I have my own companies that push things out and hype things up. And considering that like there's attention spans and where there's a whole science to this, but I think that could be it too, that it was like so late, whereas like what we've been hearing about the other con that shall not be named for I don't know how many months, or even the other con in San Antonio that should not be named that we've heard for so many months, or like a lot of stuff that we keep hearing, we hear for a while, and it's like they're already making plans for it. So that could be one thing. But yeah, like that. I mean, the rave wasn't like, I mean, it wasn't empty or anything. I don't think it ever was empty. Like, I mean, we have like had a sizable time at
Was
it
there
too. So
was there a formal
I think
this year?
Yes, there was.
there was too.
I feel like I missed it.
yeah.
It was in the Rose Garden on
And-
Saturday, I believe.
Ah, boo. See, man,
I
didn't
miss
know
doing
that.
I miss doing panels in the Rose Garden so much, because like
I
that
do
was
too.
like, I miss it so much because the dating game panels in that room just fit the aesthetic so well, and it was really
It just made it-
difficult for a lot. I know a couple of photography friends of mine who like make money doing photography shoots and normally do it there. Oh, the main stage. I got them backwards. I'm thinking of the tea party, I think. But I know like since they have all the steampunk stuff in there a lot, it's really really tight to take pictures in there, and it's just hard to like do photography shoots in just that one area because other areas in the hotel always have people maneuvering around and stuff like that.
It's true. The Rose Garden, I love that room. I used to host whenever they did give us panels in there, it was great. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to some of the comments. Missy says, and a nice tie when I talked about my Tejano look. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. By the way, you were a big help. And I have yeah. So thank you. Phantom Sen says, I had a friend who did a drag show. Was it at Delta? And who were they? Because
that was at Delta. That was at Delta. I know who were hosting it because a couple of cosplay friends of mine did it as well. I don't know exactly who hosted it, but I know it's by Partney Whale and then Sajuin. They were the JoJo Part 5 contest judges' choice or winners from Saturday for the costume contest. I don't remember whose name was on the panel, but I do know who was in and doing the panel.
One of our roommates, Tara, known as, they go by TK, Tara, they were part of the drag show as well.
Yeah.
So we knew about it. They were let me see. The formal apparently was in the main stage because so the thing is, I absolutely hate formal balls. I like to dress formal because it's nice. You look good. But the reason why I don't like formal balls is because the music is fine because that fits the theme. But formal balls are kind of like, I don't know if I can find a better word than this, but they're kind of dry because people will dance for like 10 minutes and then it's like a middle school dance where everybody's just kind of sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And I'm like, we did a prom for OniCon one year and that did great. We kept all the like the difference between the prom and the formal was the music. The music
Mhm.
worked better, and it kept the people alive. And so the final song, all right, everybody, this is the final song. That means get out. You can't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. We played Three Little Birds by Bob Marley because that's the song they play at a lot of bars and clubs to, tell you, hey, it's time to go home. And apparently,
they should start playing "Closing Time" by Semisonic.
yeah, I like Bob Marley better though. I mean, Closing Time is just kind of depressing. But I like to go in my Mexican garb and just troll because it's funny. But that isn't the Delta H formals. They dance till 2 a.m. What? The form?
That is fun. I was gonna say that's funny that because I love dressing up and I actually enjoy formals. Believe it or not. I mean, I hate when how do I say this? Yeah, that's something I regretted is not having enough energy and preparation to go to the formal too.
Bro,
But,
there's nothing like stuffing your body full of like energy drinks and sugar and supplements to like give you like a boost during the day, but come Sunday afternoon, Monday morning.
Yeah, my thing,
Yeah.
my thing was is that I really wanted to do the formal, but with it being like maybe a couple hours right after the costume contest, and I had other things going on between then, it just was not going to happen because of the. I'm not blaming the dress code, but I knew the dress code was part of it because I was going to have to do like a whole costume change in order to even meet the dress code requirements.
Oh, they do. They had all kinds of that. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, Sarah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be completely 100% honest with you. I always go to the formal. I don't even dress up. I'm like, hey, I'm just here to review it. I'm here to review. I'm just here to take some notes, review, and move on. So I'll go in there and I'll like start eating the food put out.
Yeah, that's me with award shows too. Like I'm just here for the food. Like I win some. Like I'll be there in 45 minutes. I'm probably gone. I win best of the year or whatever, and like I'm already in a hot tub like at home, or So it's like, wait, I won what? And as I'm munching down a chicken wing. So, but now I think when I do go back next year, or even if I go to another show or play another show that has a formal, I'm gonna check it out because I love dressing up and. I was just a little unprepared because everything kind of happened in the span of a month and a half. I will say that I felt very disgusting after the rave because can I call it a rave? Anyway, yeah, I felt disgusting after the rave because the AC was still kind of like not working as effective as it should be, and my skinny pants were just soaked. All the dancing and all that stuff. All my clothes were. I usually I could do more and go to Waffle House or whatever. I'm like, I need to take the coldest shower I can after the dance. So like, but everybody had a lot of fun. There were a couple of comments as far as like, oh, because they know that I was gonna be there. The only comments they had were like, oh, I could have played more trance or I could have played more hard dance. Well, I mean, the thing is like with the size of the crowd that I have, my job was to maintain that for the next DJ. So I needed to make sure I kept pleasing the crowd. And that's effectively what I needed to do for every con is like, what's the best, how can I make sure everybody on average has a great time? And for the most part, I did. And even those that did, that wished I played one way or the other said that it was actually one of the best sets they've ever heard. And I know I'm speaking for myself, but like I would challenge anybody to go to another show except Kansas City. This anime DJs in Kansas City are phenomenal, and that they're my Mount Rushmore. But like I've been doing this for 20 years, and I kind of feel that vibe. Now for those I saw a comment earlier. Yeah, Phantom Sense says, hell yeah, trance and UK hardcore for the win. I will say, if you like both of those, I do have two huge announcements. Actually, there's a story I can tell right now.
Well, we got to
Captain Mexico.
We got to keep it brief because we still got to cover more of the con.
Okay, well, Yeah, go ahead. I will say this is kind of like, you know how there's the Raw after WrestleMania.
Okay.
This is kind of that moment, but that's about it. But I think that's pretty much it. Like honestly, the biggest thing for me really was everybody was so professional. Everyone was like, even if like something like somebody needed help with something, somebody could cover. Like I could see that. You know, I've worked in cons, I've worked out of cons, and I could tell like the dynamics been awesome. I could see that you know, the guests that I've worked with have been incredible, really good people. Work with, you know, shout out to Chris from Bardic Insights, who I've worked with before. Definitely, I'm sorry that I didn't get to hang out with Chris as much, but or the Bardic Insights team. I think his name was Drew, who did the all the sciencey magic stuff. That blew my mind, and you know, Drew is also incredible, really fun to talk to. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time considering everything, and the only thing that maybe next time, when I do happen to come back at some capacity, hopefully as a guest DJ again, or I may like change how I do my panels. I definitely want to make myself more available to the fans, but I might do, now that I kind of have an idea how Delta H's fans are. I have some ideas for panels that might work for them a lot better. And of course, if they want to see me teach DJing or anything else again, they could always, you know, I'm not hard to talk to or reach. Like I always tell everybody, you know, I'm a fan, I'm a friend to everybody, and I'm down, you know, I'm easy to talk to. So so long as I'm available. But so and then that just spam the heck out of my box until I say stop. So, but yeah, no, it was very fun. As far as what I would give it,
the score. Hard. We're not doing the score yet. We're not doing the score. Okay. Not yet. That's towards the end.
That's pretty much
because it's kind of awkward to like give the score and then continue the show. It's like awkward.
No. Yeah, no worries. But no, overall, I had a great weekend. Two quick things. One, that we found out there was a Daiso, and right next to the Daiso there was a Kinokuniya. Kura Sushi.
Yeah, Kura Sushi.
There's a Kura Sushi, and I was like, "Where has that been all my life?" This is the first time I ate Kura, and I went back the next day, and there's one in San Antonio, and I went back last Saturday, and I'm like, this is where I'm gonna go. This is my diet from now on.
I will say this, food wise, they had this restaurant, fast food restaurant called Main Birds. I call it Majin Birds.
Main Bird.
Yeah, bro, that was good.
I can't tell you how many times. So like I've seen a bunch of. It's amazing. First off, that place closes till like 4 a.m.
I know.
Second, awesome. Main Bird is like. So there's people I know who do like Uber and like Uber Eats and DoorDash. They get those places all the time, Main Bird. But sometimes they'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to drive
10 miles.
10 miles for $2.
Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped doing Uber Eats. No, but that place is great. Shout out to Majin. Like, we call it Majin Birds, but they're Main Birds because they look like Majin. Main Bird, Majin Bird.
Yeah, what is that place?
They sell chicken. They sell some chicken.
It's a chicken.
I drove by it. I just never went in it, like, because when I was there, because we don't have Waffle House in San Antonio, so I was like, I get as much Waffle House as I can, and when I found out about Kura, I was like, I'm eating as much Kura as I can.
Wait.
Next time I go to Houston,
stop. Say that again. Y'all don't have a Waffle House in San Antonio?
No, we don't.
Oh,
we keep getting told that we're gonna get one. Apparently, we had one at some time. I don't know if that was ever true, but we keep people keep talking about it, but it's never happened. And what's funny is before I moved to Texas before 2011, when I was living in the Panhandle of Florida, there is a Waffle House on every block. Like you go to Fort Walton Beach, actually. You go to the end of Fort Walton Beach before you hit the bridge of Okaloosa. There's a Waffle House before the bridge. You go over the bridge, and there's a Waffle House after the bridge.
You gotta have. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my mind. I'm still processing.
He's flabbergasted.
I am, because you don't understand. You don't understand. For for the audience out there that are watching live, that watch the pre-recorded, that watch it, whatever the clips. Waffle House is the official food of the hood. You know,
I don't know.
It's also the official.
We don't have a Waffle House out
here. It's an after rave meal too.
They don't. I live in the hood. We don't have it over here. I'm just saying.
What? Where are we supposed to Where are we supposed to have our after the club fights? How do you? Where are we supposed to go to know if we know how to fight? Where are we supposed to get cheap waffles seasoned in dirt for pennies on the dollar? Well, they're not so cheap anymore. But where am I supposed to go where the staff is rude, but like Big Mama House rude? Yeah,
it works.
Where am I supposed to go to find a girl that can like chair bend like the Avatar? You seen that video where she parried that thing like she had Ultra Instinct? Did San Antonio? Okay, we have another comment by Sarah. You poor thing. We need to bring Seffi back just so he can eat more Waffle House. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, heck, and I'm easy to, like I said, Houston is so easy for me to get to, so it'd be no problem. But yeah, like
Waffle House, the world would be a better place if San Antonio had a Waffle House. Waffle House operates in over 1,900 restaurants nationwide, but abandoned its 3 San Antonio locations years ago. September 24, 2023. What?
They had. Wait,
I think we can dedicate an entire podcast just to Waffle House today on Dark Side of the Community.
I wonder how much.
No Waffle Houses in San Antonio. We dig deep.
I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can franchise one here. Like I've started to get into like. I mean, I can't do it right away now. My money's put into a lot of things already, but a year or two ago I started getting into like. Investing and I invest in real tangible things.
Pretty
and
solid.
I'm not like yeah, and part of it's because I like to community build, and I know it's like I'm gonna build a community by bringing a Waffle House, but you know Waffle House as a meme gets a bad rap. Like I grew before 2011, when I was surrounded by Waffle Houses, like those are just chill places to go to like after an event.
2011, that's
because
I feel like it just depends on the area, because Waffle House to me has always been like the central hub for everything that happened in the hood. Like what's good in the hood? Where's everybody going after the club? Like that's where you went. Like you saw people on the parking lot passed out drunk. Like, is she okay? Yeah, she's fine. Just leave her alone. We're bringing her back some waffles.
Actually, one of my let me see if I can make this a very appropriate story. I had a romantic night with my ex-fiance at the first. Well, she was my girlfriend the first time, became my fiance, and then my first wife. Then she's like, "Babe, I'm hungry." I go to Waffle House, come back, and we ate Waffle House, and I don't know what anime we watched. So it's like that was I just got to Fort Walton at the time, so like it was kind of Waffle House may have been something totally basic to whoever lived in Fort Walton Beach, but for me, that was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's like how before, and sad that Deacon's not here, before I got to San Antonio, I've eaten Taco Bell and I enjoyed Taco Bell. I ate Taco Bell a lot when I was living in Hawaii. Then I come here, I got introduced to Taco Cabana. And then when I started making more Mexican friends, believe it or not, I am Hispanic, but I'm Colombian. We speak differently in a little bit, but once I started learning, learning how to say "way," right? I started hanging, or you know what I mean, or actually enunciating some of my words in Spanish, and follow along. They would take me to the actual family-owned Mexican restaurants, near Lackland Air Force Base, and I was like, "Where have y'all been all my life?" Right? And it's just been wonderful. And I haven't eaten Taco Bell in almost 12 years. I remember a 5-layer burrito I ate in 2011.
So we're gonna cut it there. We're gonna go with Savvy. Savvy, we want to get because we're running. We are before the show starts getting expensive. So let's get your thoughts, because you were there as a cosplay guest at the con.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
No,
but
you're
he's
good.
like, no, he was like, I got Taco Bell back in 2011. I was like, I was 11 in 2011. That's just really showing my age.
Wow,
In
you're so small.
2011,
Oh
so
shoot!
so
If I was still in the Air Force, I would
in
have retired this
2011,
year.
so I think I'm older than Seffi. Because in
I'm 23.
2011, Seffi, when did you become an adult? You don't have to like officially.
2000.
In 20 in
I turned 18 in
2018.
2004. I'm
Okay, so
2018.
you're
38
you're
now.
older than me. So you are older than me. So I've been going to anime conventions since 2007 since I've been 19 years old. Think about that. I was at the first Delta, the very
I
first
was
one.
15 or 16 my first year Delta in
Oof.
2016.
Oh wow. Oh, we're getting old
Because
there.
I was
fellas.
born in 2000, so the same year. I'm a year younger until December hits, and then I'm the same year.
Wow, you're so small.
So we're gonna keep everybody update. We're gonna start making posts. It's day one with after finding out, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 100 after finding out San Antonio doesn't have a Waffle House. But we're gonna go ahead and move on from that. So I want to get, because you were a cosplay guest at the con.
Yes.
So Seffi was a guest, but they're musical industry. They're music industry. They do raves, dances, that stuff. So that's a completely different industry than from what I do. I'm a panelist. I'm an entertainer. I do stand up. I do events. So you're a cosplay guest. You pretty much, for those, like, everyone that watches this channel should know what cosplay is, but essentially you make all your costumes, you play the character, and you kind of have responsibilities to the con that comes as part of being the cosplay guest.
Yes, it was definitely a breath of fresh air, because I've guested for I guested the first year for Bryan College Station Comic Con for their first year last year. I was a very late admittant. They texted me 3 days before the event saying, "Hey, a guest dropped out. Do you want to fill in?" I was like, "Sure." So Delta was my first full guesting experience. So I was able to have my own table. I was able to sell my prints. I was able to interact with everybody. I was actually able to prejudge the entire cosplay contest. I was able to judge the cosplay contest fully, and it was definitely like eye-opening to see how many people like I've known previously throughout the years come up to me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you're finally here. I've been waiting years for this to happen." It just made me so happy seeing friends and family that I knew for when coming to Delta were happy to see me being there. And I inspired so many people to actually start doing cosplay contests. I know one of the lovely Missy ma'ams that I had met. I had talked her into doing the cosplay contest, and she had such a blast doing it, and that just made me so happy. So we're kind of obligated to be like the faces. We're obligated to help like people go from being there at the con to like seeing how cosplays and cosplay contests work, and then also embracing them and helping them along the way so they too can potentially become cosplayers themselves. And it's definitely mind-blowing to see how you could watch one person go from one stage of cosplay to a completely different stage, because I've only been competing in cosplay contests for, I think, just now barely 2 years. So it's definitely something that is very entertaining to watch and do.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because I've been a cosplay guest once in my since I've been going to conventions, and I will say something now. I will say no, I'm sorry. I will say something about the cosplay competitions now.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they are healthier, competitive, and judge wise, they are definitely healthier than they used to be. Like, and I want to say like 15 years ago, 14 years ago. I'm talking about back in the day. Most of the people that judged back in the day that did the cosplay contest, that were judges, all those people, a lot of them are gone. They don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone national. They don't do it. They're retired. They got families now, or they just don't compete. Right. So before I say what I'm about to say, I know there's an individual that just likes to watch the show out of spite and likes to take everything I say out of context. the cosplay competitions, not for every convention, but a lot of them were very toxic because it was very political at one point. It was, and people, you can talk to anybody that competed in the cosplay competitions back in the day. You know, us old folks, or as they call us, the ancestors. Yeah, no, it was not like it is now. Now, like if you sandbag, or is it sandbag, right?
It's sandbag, yeah. Like we
You will
talk.
get put out.
We
Yeah.
talk. Like I
I
think
found
we
out
had
there's discords and stuff dedicated.
Oh
to
yeah.
people
I'm
sharing.
in both of them. I'm in both of them. We actually had one of the cosplay contest applicants sandbag, and it kind of really disappointed me to actually see that. And we also had, like, I think 2 or 3 people who entered in store-bought cosplays for the craftsmanship area, and that honestly surprised me. We do talk, and it's also gotten more advocated within the cosplay community, like on TikTok or on social media, like that we do talk, and that your behavior, regardless if it's good or bad, does get talked about. Because there was a couple months ago where there was this, I forgot what he was cosplaying. I think it was like a mimic shelf or whatever, and he threw a hissy fit because he didn't place over someone else because he
Oh
felt
my
he did
god,
better.
that guy.
Yeah, that guy,
Yeah.
and then his friend or whatever. Like,
No,
we
they
do
went
have,
onto a
yeah,
podcast and then they
yeah,
just were talking so much smack about the winners who were very, very great, very amazing cosplayers. They did so hard. They put so much time and effort into those cosplays, and
hmm
this man was angry because he didn't win because they were all women, and he believed he was better because he was a man, and him and his friends just came in and said a bunch of sexist stuff. I think we talked about that actually on the
yeah.
podcast a few moons ago.
Yeah, and then I think 1 or 2 of the judges actually made a response video to that and actually explained why they placed them in to the public as well.
Wait,
And
what
a
con
lot,
was this?
I don't remember which con. I think it was in Georgia, if I remember correctly. It was an
Because
out of state con.
something similar to that happened here in Texas.
I haven't heard that one, but I do know that us as guests, like, we try to make sure that we do things as fairly as possible. And I have other friends of mine, cosplay Meg, she's going to go to Dragon Con, and then Princess Tian, she's another cosplay friend of mine. They're my cosplay mamas. They have taught me very well on what to look for. They taught me what to look for when prejudging and judging. So I have them to really thank for helping me get to this point where I'm able to look at a costume and be like, okay, this looks very well done. This could use some work. And we make sure that we judge each costume to the best of our abilities and that we make sure everything is fair. There is one thing I don't really like about the cosplay contest at Delta H is that everyone is categorized all together. There's not the masters, intermediates, and beginner. Like, they're all put together. And for someone who's just entering in cosplay contests for their first time, they have little to no chance of, placing over people who've been doing it for years. But I do know that they are hoping to try getting that resolved, because when I first started competing at Delta, that was like a knife in the back to me, because being compared as a beginner to a master, it just hits your confidence really, really hard compared to competing at other cons that have that ranking system.
Yeah, I agree that does it does demoralize the rest of the competition, because as somebody that's starting off like me, I am not a master. I am nowhere near master. I made my Captain Mexico, and even then, when you get up close, it looks like crap. I am not. I am not even. I don't compete anymore. It's just like, for me, it's not fun. Because I am a master, and therefore I have to compete with like this person that like created a oh, I spent 5 years making this cosplay because I created the diamonds on it with like
I hand sewed every
sugar.
single bead to make this design on this one piece.
I sanded it. I put a lot of
Oh my God.
sanding and a lot of sandpaper on.
Like, I sewed even though you can't see it, I sewed the underwear too. And it's like, what?
That's why build books are important. If you're planning on competing on a professional or, like, craftsmanship level, build books are important, because if you do not have photo evidence of some stuff that you say you did, they will not believe you. Just throwing that out there.
Right. So mine's pretty poorly put together. So they actually do believe that I made it. Uh,
Every sewing machine I've ever touched would break
Actually,
after the
for
third
me,
use.
same thing, but it would be after like halfway through the first use instead of I wouldn't get that far. All of my clothes were hot glued together. As a matter of fact, they brought me up
That's
to
what I
one of the
did.
how to make your own cosplay. So don't do what Mexico does. Don't hot glue your cosplay together.
I mean, you
'Cause,
could. Just wouldn't
I
last
mean,
very long.
like okay, his stuff is because he works on some kind of different alcoholic plane of existence where it should not last that long if you hot glue it together. My Mexico poncho, the original one, lasted 4 years hot glued together.
Well, that's not bad.
Because it was simple, it was easily put together. But
Yeah.
so I do want to ask you though, just to kind of go over the cosplay competition, because there's something that a lot of people talk about. When it was coming to as a guest, working with the staff, how was that? Like, was it easy to work with staff? Were they very accessible, or was it like, where are
Oh,
they?
yeah, no, if one staff member that we were like directly under did not show, we always had someone there who could either get in contact for them. I know I forgot her name, but she had like really bright orange and yellow hair. I have her number, I don't have her name, but she did a very fantastic job making sure that we were where we needed to be on time. I was kind of the weirdo and was dressed and ready to go at like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning every morning because we had specific times and places that we had to be at specific times. And I was afraid I was always going to show up late. I always ended up being an hour and a half early. Thank you, Cheyenne. Yeah, or Cheyenne. I think that's Cheyenne. And then Dimitri, I love Dimitri. He got on our butts when he needed to, and he directed us as he needed to. And staff was very fun. They made sure that we were okay and that we were safe, and they kept an eye out, and they did a very fantastic job. I do know that they were probably a little bit ran thin because of all the time crunching because of the hurricane and all that fun stuff and getting things set up, but they did a very fantastic job, and they always seem to do that every year.
Quick shout out to we have a celebrity amongst this. The Legacy of Nerd is a YouTube channel that reports on like Power Ranger, Marvel, DC, all kinds of stuff. They're pretty popular actually.
Oh,
What's
hi.
up, bro? So the reason why I'm asking is because I, for one, and Steffi, I also like. What did you think about the staff as well? What did you like? In a couple sentences, what did you think about the staff?
Oh, like they were just on it all the time. Again, despite the circumstances, they got things done. They were very respectful. They definitely checked up on me. Like I like to say I'm pretty low maintenance because like one, I've been a staffer at conventions before. I know how it's like. I know what they may have to deal with. So I try to lighten the load as much as I can. But they've been very helpful, very resilient. You know, again, as I mentioned, Dimitri was very, very welcoming when I got there. Cheyenne, another one, walked by the where all the celebrity tables are, and just told us where we needed to be when we needed to be, and you know, I didn't miss out on a lot. So like, you know, I was able to get to where everyone's just been helpful and very respectful, and that's usually a big thing for me. I mean, I understand, you know, sometimes people get stressed out. Some people may be inexperienced about something. I'm not sure, like any kind of scenario, but everybody in Delta H that I got to interact with was just very on it and very professional, and I very, very appreciate all of them. So I think they were fantastic.
I think they cycled through like the celebrity tables like a good maybe 3 or 4 times just within the first half of the day, like easy. Like they were either on their way or close by or always there, and that was like really, really, really good, I think.
I will say this. So this is I really like working with Delta HCon's security, their staff, the safety team, you know, all them guys. I hang out with them, I work with them. They're so easy to work with. They're like, you know, there's a lot of they help me out a lot, I help them out. Like there's a lot of give and take, and it's a really good relationship that we have. And I like they're so spot on. There's some okay. Let's just put it out there. Not pretend like bad stuff doesn't happen at conventions, right? And a lot of the times it's out of the convention's control because we can't police who can go and who can't go, right? And we can't always see what happens. But sometimes bad things happen at cons.
Mm-hmm.
And like the staff have always been so quick to like, like,
Yeah.
boot out, bye. We don't tolerate that here. They are so good and quick about it that like, so I do hear about issues every now and then because witnesses, whatever. But like this year, it's almost non-existent. Like it just feels a lot like there were some issues, but not like widespread issues, like more isolated issues. Maybe there were a couple widespread, but like they were so on point about handling it that it was actually pretty awesome.
I think
And
there
I
was
gotta
only
give 'em
like I think there was only like one major one that happened out like way in the lobby from what I heard because like they had to kick out a kid and his mom for something. I don't know. I didn't hear the whole details, but I think that was the only major one.
right. And I think that's not the one I heard. So there's probably like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3, but they weren't like talk around the water cooler worthy, but they definitely like they show it's a testament to how well the Delta H Con staff work, how
Oh, yeah.
dedicated they are to like the convention, the safety of the people and everything. And like, I mean, and to kind of address, and I'll address this at the end of the podcast, but yeah, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen outside the control of the hotel. I mean, of the convention itself. The convention itself cannot control. They can't police hotel rooms, right? But they can look into it. Like, hey, we heard this room is open to like the general public, so we're gonna go check it out to make sure everything's up and up. Not saying that is the case, but if that is the case, that's the only way they can do it. Otherwise, hotel rooms are private, doors are closed. They can't just go in there like warrant police, party police, whatever, right? So they're pretty good. I have no issues with any of the staff whatsoever. I'm willing to work with anybody and everybody, but the staff at Delta's awesome. They took care of me. Definitely we worked together great. I do want to acknowledge the fact that there were several I mean it was pretty obvious, but there were several panelists that did cancel on the convention. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that is beyond the control of the convention. A lot of things can happen. People can get sick, they didn't get the time off from work, and then we just got hit by a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that if you're running a panel and you're unable to make it due to sickness or forces of Mother Nature acting up, just make sure you communicate with the convention. Yeah, because like it happens a lot. Like we took over for Deacon stuff, which we were more than happy to do, and those ran great. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna steal his panels. Well, the Power Ranger one.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, like the con itself, like I really don't have too many bad things to say about it. I do have my cons of the con, but before we do that, like, so to kind of get what are some things about the convention that you feel like they can improve on, Sevi?
Oh, me? Sorry, I thought you said something else.
It's not like
So, yeah.
it's confusing for me too because I am dyslexic, so sometimes I'll read the name. Savvy. Sorry, Savvy.
Okay.
Seppi
yeah, I
and
can
Savvy.
I thought you said
'cause I'm-
Seppi, but I was like, are you talking to me or?
No,
Um,
Savvy. Well, we're gonna get to Steffi. Because I'm
I heard
looking at the way you're
Seppi.
lined up on my screen, so we're gonna go with Savvy first, and then Steffi, and then we'll get your overall score.
Okay. I don't really have, I think, much of any cons for Delta H because majority of the cons that I had were out of the staff's control.
Mhm.
I think the one thing would be how they handle the costume contest, but that's just gonna be a thing until, because having ran it and have been a contestant of it and other contests, that's like the main one that I have. But I'm okay with it being either way or because that's how they've always done it since I've been going there. But yeah, that's all the other cons that I had were outside of Delta H's control. So
Mm-hmm. All right, Seffi, what about you? What are a couple things that you feel like the convention could improve on, or just kind of work on overall?
I mean, the only two there's two things that I can think of. I mean, they're not really like. I mean, they're nothing. I won't say they're cons. Like again, overall, it was a great time. But I'm always like, I want to see people. I want to see events do better. Better than next year and the year before, after, and all that stuff. I think honestly, I would have loved a 6-month head start on this show. Like a matter of even with everything that we had to deal with when it comes to like hurricanes, competing conventions before the show, conventions after the show. It's like I love to get Delta HCon just this not past weekend, the weekend that just happened was just so amazing. I would have loved to see other people know about it and get to experience it. And people have told me that they didn't even know that Delta HCon was a thing, or whether it was going to happen, or whether it existed. And I think like having a little bit more of a head start, and announcing guests, announcing activities. I don't know how possible it is. I know I've seen it with certain cons. I understand their situations, but I would say like getting that time to hype it up.
Hey, Sonic,
and
take over.
possibly have people.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh yeah, you keep going. Sorry.
Okay, and having people expand on it, like expand outside of Texas, like maybe even get people from Florida, New Jersey, Canada to see it. Now, again, I don't run Delta HCon. I don't know what Delta HCon's intentions are, because sometimes some conventions want to stay local, stay small, and that's all fine. Me, I'm ambitious. I'm ambitious as heck. Like a couple of cons I've talked to, I'm like, I want us to be the next ACon in 3 years, and I've seen some cons explode close to it, if not surpass it, and it blows my mind. But in any case, I always want to see a show do well and do better, even despite like circumstances or the environment. The other thing too is I think this is more of a I guess of a personal taste. I think the sound could have been a lot better. And I don't know if it was from my gear or the gear that was provided. I will say it was kind of strange. They had like it looked like old rock speaker stacks. And I don't remember if there was a sub there at all. I know we got some bass, but I don't remember if there's actual subs in there. And they used an old mixer. Now I was told that like it was possible like the signal that was cutting out my stuff wasn't as great as Kohei's controller, but I performed at Cadavercon the week before Delta H, and it came out great. I do need to test that sound out, or I do need to test my gear out because I have my own CDJs. I've got a $2,500 mixer, like my gear is like $8,000 that I deploy to conventions and huge events. And like I've got a show on Saturday that it's got to work. So I got to test that out. But like I think the sound, I don't know how it's hooked up, but it looked weird compared to like other sound stages that I've been in. And I'm just speaking that from my my audio engineer side. But I think that was it. Like I won't say there was like negatives or anything like that. It's more like, okay, what are some things that can make it better? And that's all I'm about. It's like I want to see the show do better. I know. I guess I could also say that I wish the rave was 2 nights, but I was telling Kohei, is like, you know what? Hopefully, Club King Yobi could be Club Shumatsu. Like Club Friday be Club Weekend. It all depends. That all depends on the plan, but that's just a wish kind of thing. But yeah, that was it. That wasn't. I think the big thing is hopefully we have more time to promote and hype it up and get people that don't know about Delta H know about Delta H and see all the amazing stuff that happens, and then hopefully a better sound.
Because I would not like to be a ticking time bomb again, because I was waiting so anxiously to be announced, because I was holding it in for like a couple of days because I wanted to tell everybody, but I couldn't until I was announced. So I was a ticking time bomb, just waiting.
Oh, I know the feeling. I actually felt that way for a couple of events that just got announced. Which I don't know if I should announce
I
those
would
yet
wait until it's
or
official before
or
you
if you want
announce
me
it.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean
Oh.
they are official. I just
Oh,
wasn't sure.
yeah, in a minute.
Time.
Yeah, at the end of the show, we can go ahead and do that. But
Yep.
I will say this: Delta has been faced with a lot because Delta's in Houston.
Mhm.
Houston has dealt. We've dealt with so much this year: tornadoes. 2 months later, hurricanes. What do we have before that? Just like Houston has been hit with so much this year.
Heat.
I know there's like a power downage in the grid at some point, like during early winter, I think, but it was like a small area because I was affected by the tornado. I didn't have power for like a week, but the hurricane, we only had power missing for like an hour.
That's because the power grid here sucks.
Yeah, and we're the energy capital of the world, apparently.
Sorry, I'm eating.
That just hit me. I'm like,
But
what?
my I don't have a lot of cons about the con, just that I feel overall there needs to be the same complaint I have every year. I feel like there should be more adult panels.
There was
feel like
like not a lot of adult panels because normally I see like at least 10, and I think there's only like 5 or 6 this year. There was not a lot of them.
I think because people canceled.
Yeah.
Definitely the 2 panels. So every night before karaoke, the panel before us definitely was canceled.
Oh, actually, I
Something I
do have one tiny con. I just remembered. I don't really like how small panel room 3 is because it's basically like a little hole in the corner of between panel room 1 and panel room 2. That's like the one thing because I know they're trying to account for space, but it's kind of a little hole in the corner.
I will disagree only for the fact that I feel like some of the more educational panels, that's a perfect panel size for like the more like, because there was a panel on public speaking, and that panel, my friend runs it, great panel. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to present himself, and he's actually very helpful because he takes the time to help everybody that's in the panel. So for the panel size for his panel, his audience, that was perfect because he doesn't need a mic. Because when you're trying to do public speaking, you want to practice and teach public speaking without a microphone, because a microphone actually could be very much a handicap for individuals that don't know how to speak. Because if you can't project, you don't know how to talk, you can definitely make adjustments. So I think panel room 3 is perfect. I think like the more bigger panels, like the dating game and stuff like that, should be in panel room 2, where the more educational panels should be in panel room 3, where it's a much smaller audience.
Because my Black Butler panel, I think we capped out on the number of people we could enter in, and I think we still had like half a line that wasn't able to enter, which is what I was kind of worried about happening to begin with. I
think it's just placement. I think it's very much placement. There could be a better placement of the panels just based on the type. That's what categories are for. Categories are important, and I think the thing that's not, and I will say this as somebody that's been doing panels since 2009, it's very unpredictable, the audience size that you're going to get for a panel. Some panels they have a line around the corner. Some panels get like 5 people, and like your panel could fill the house, a way to turn people away at this con, but at the next con it could be like, well, we managed to almost fill up the room, but not quite.
That's something I've been taking notes of lately. Like, when I was doing this stuff at it might have been no, it was Anime Sakai or Kawakan. I don't remember. It was like last year. Like, I had a full house, and then this year Delta H, it wasn't like I didn't break half on any of the panels. I think one I had like 4 people, but I noticed the subject matter that was popular. Like, which I guess, and I'm going to take a wild guess, not guess, but an educated guess. I noticed a lot of stuff that had to do with like, Black Butler or dating games or the, stuff that's like more like, I don't want to, maybe novelty is not the right word, but stuff that's like somewhat a little bit more relevant in a very, very fun way. Even though those panels have been around almost every convention, they always do well. And I actually told my wife, I was like, you know what? Maybe next year, or maybe my next idea for a panel is like, I don't read a lot of it, but I don't. And sometimes, I mean, I watch it by accident, but it's like I should do a panel about boys' love, like a straight. Well, I'm actually pan-romantic, a straight cis guy that may marry another man for pure love only. Who's never watched yaoi? What is speak on yaoi, and that might be a challenge, or find topics that are challenging and just go with that. Like, and even and see. Like they might.
I was gonna say I actually want to
ahead.
piggyback on that, and I kind of want to play devil's advocate. So yes, you're right. So the anime themed panels are essentially going to be more popular. However, I like to counteract that sometimes the host themselves will actually turn a panel that normally wouldn't be as popular and make it much more popular. Because look at Sunday, I was hosting How to Make Your Own Panel 101, right? This was Sunday at 4. It was 3 or 4. This is like when the con's dead.
Mm-hmm.
We had 10 people at least in that panel room. A panel that late in the day when everyone's trying to get out before they get charged extra. They don't want to like stick around for late. But that panel had there was a good number of people there. And they were taking notes and they were listening. Like, oh yeah, they came because they knew who I was. They seen my work. And they're like, and they've asked me like, hey, I've had people, I'm not going to say whose names, but like there are TikTokers who've asked me for help. Like, okay, how do we get our panels picked up by other cons? Because I've been submitting for panels at different cons and no one's picked up my stuff. And that's why I started the Making Your Own Panel 101. Because I don't want to do panels forever, right? I want to stop eventually. But I definitely want to help people start their own panels. And people will come in there and take notes from me because, like, look, there's 3 things when it comes to panels: marketing, your character, and the brand.
Mm-hmm. I
'Cause
know.
the name,
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I know a couple people who always come to my panels if my name is on the panel roster. Like if they see my name in it, they go to it. And if I'm dressed up as Bakugo or Hawks, they're 100% going because those are the characters that they know me for the most. The only reason we did Black Butler this year for Delta is because season 4 just came out in April and the show is still coming out for that. And we always do a My Hero panel because My Hero Academia is still one of the popular ones that we all have a cosplay for, and me and my friend group are known for doing My Hero Academia panels. That's we kind of cater to what's trending at the moment and then cater to like what characters we are well known for when it comes to panels for us.
Yeah, that's interesting. My experience is a little bit. I think it's because like usually like I submitted panels because I figured I give Delta HCon like I want to give it as much value as for me just showing up. I don't know if I'm phrasing it correctly, but it's like let me provide some content at least. Let me provide as much content as you guys need. Most of the people, I mean, there were some people that were there for me. I did see a lot of new people. Actually, there was a guy I met that I've never ran into this person, but lives a half a block away from me, and which was really cool. It was at the Learning the DJ panel, and like first, so there was so I actually met quite a bit of new people there, but most of the people that were familiar with me, like my actual fans, my established fans, they all showed up at the rave. So although most of the times when I market or promote, it's usually for the rave. So I will admit that I haven't marketed my panels as much. I think at the time I didn't know. Yeah, this happened in such a small amount of time. I wasn't sure what panels were actually going to be available on, and by the time I knew, I already had my marketing stuff out. But something I may consider, because I do want to get more into. It's interesting how busy I am as a label owner and a DJ and a producer. I don't get enough involved in the anime content, and something my wife is beating me in the head every day, saying, "Hey, get more into anime, more into like the content," which I've been taking notes and writing, and like I'm about to release and create a bunch of stuff next year. Just like with what Jesse was saying, like, you know, he wants to step aside from doing panels, so he does how to make a panel to get future generations going. It's the same thing with me building events. I'm actually not supposed to be a promoter, but I throw my own shows to kind of give disenfranchised DJs and performers a platform. But at the end of the day, I'm a producer, a musician, and a content creator, and I want to get back to that. So it's interesting, you know, your guys' experience compared to mine, and I wonder if mine kind of will be blended with yours when I focus more on creating. And I might actually have more fun doing that, because now I'm talking about what I love, which is anime and the different anime fandoms, versus like, oh, you know, I'm a DJ. Yeah, I love DJing, but now I'm teaching. I'm just providing content because I just want to provide content.
No, it's
I
understandable.
was on mute. I was like talking. So if anybody knows, so there's only one. Dangapus, yes, but there's one individual here that knows like how much, that kind of has like a really good idea how the logistics works for everything. They've been there. They've been with Sonic has seen. So Sonic has been to Delta.
Mhm.
So there are people that legitimately will come to Delta. They'll buy badges, but they strictly only come for the room party that we throw.
I believe that. I believe
There
that
were
wholeheartedly.
25 people in our room party that had badges, but they did not attend the con.
Yeah, we saw
They
a couple.
bought-
I've seen it before.
They will buy the badges to support the con, but they only come for like the room party and the karaoke. And the thing is, because a lot of people are aware of what we do, it's no secret. Like the hotel knows. The hotel didn't even shut it down. They came and talked to us. Hey, so there's people in the hallway making noise. You need to get them in the room, or you need to get rid of them. I'm like, arrest them. They're not part of my crew.
You know, I just found out about y'all guys like literally a couple days ago. Like, I didn't even know what was going on, so I had no awareness.
We had a concert in our hotel room at one point.
Oh, jeez.
A metal band. It was a metal band too. So we're not an anime. We're not anime central. We're not anime centric. We're not anime themed. We're very universal. So we don't really do a lot of anime stuff. Like, I don't watch a lot of anime. I watch enough. I like My Hero. I like Full Metal Alchemist. I'm obsessed with Dragon Ball, as you can tell. But we have like, our theme is just, we're geeks and we're here to help. Our purpose at Delta is to help Delta be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, whenever I do my panels, not for the small panels, but for the bigger panels, I have like an entire introduction. I'll be like, "Shh, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros," and I'll go this elaborate entrance, and like,
You did that for your speed dating panels, I remember.
I want to bring back speed. I want to bring back the dating game. I don't want to bring back speed dating, but I want to bring back the social one.
Please.
Because it was fun. Because the whole point of the social gathering is not to like meet a date, but to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I did talk to people this weekend, and I know they're watching. So I apologize to anyone if I was a jerk in the past. So here's the thing. I might have been a jerk in the past, but that wasn't on purpose. Like, every time we do a weekend at a con, there's always something that goes bad, something that goes wrong. Somebody does something dumb. I got to put out fires. I got to do technical stuff. I got to like figure out what's going on and
fixer uppers. I'm legitimately like, so I'm not just the guy that created Geeks 5 and runs it. I also run the room. All right. Like, did you bring literally somebody showed up and they stayed with us. I'm like, did you bring pillows, blankets? Like, they didn't bring anything, nothing.
So I had to give him my stuff, and I froze at night. I was like, "Oh God, this is hard. I made a mistake. I want my
Or
stuff."
at least share.
No, I wasn't gonna share. First off, I don't like sharing. Like I don't do cuddles. I don't do like no. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the same sex, the opposite sex. Unless you're a partner, unless you're my partner, I'm not sharing a bed. I'm not sharing a sleeping space with you. Because I kick and I toss and turn. And if I'm anything like my daughter, I starfish. You ever seen somebody just sleep just like that?
Yeah, we've seen spread snow.
So
angel.
but overall, let's get the final scores and then we can go ahead and wrap it up. So Savvy, what on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, no one else's, because the opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the other admins, sponsors, or staff members of Geeks 5 Ever. 1 being Anime Matsuri, 10 being the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rate the con?
A 9 out of 10 for sure.
Oh wow! All right.
Like no, that is my like Delta H is my comfort con. I go to it every single year. It was the first one I started with, and every year, no matter the bumps, it always flattens out. It's definitely a community. I wouldn't say I'm on a first name basis with some of the staff, but I'm, social enough to be in their little family. So it's definitely a 9 out of 10 for me.
That is an insane score. All right. So Mr. Seppi Hakubi.
So I'd say I could do 0.5s on this, right? Or
Yes.
Yeah, so I would say like maybe 8.5 out of 10, and it's more just the circumstances. It's not some like I'm being honest because like I want to make sure that if there is improvement, that there's chance. Like I'm not gonna BS anybody, like I would say like if everything worked well, I could see it being a 9 or a 10, and I've given 10s. I've gone Dave Meltzer on a con before. Like I said, KawaCon this year was the best con I've ever been to. Most of it was because
keep referencing Uncle Dave.
Yeah, yes, it's a 25-star match. That was back in March. That was the best thing. And mostly it's because of the staff. Delta H was incredible because of the staff, and I think and I always swear by this, even with the people that I've worked with, it's like if you have an awesome group of people, like your show is going to be amazing. And sometimes I envy the teams that I've seen at other promotion groups or even cons. But yeah, there is a couple of things, and like I said, most of it is like if only they had much more time to kind of build up to it. And I don't know whether it'll affect the outcome of attendance or anything like that, or activity or whatnot. But because there's been a hurricane, and again there's a lot and other events that have gone on and whatnot. But it's more like, hey, this is what to look out for, and I would love to see it like blow everyone away next year. Wait, can I say that with the hurricane? Like, never mind hurricanes blowing up the town. I say like the awesomeness of Delta H Con should blow up any hurricane that dares try to come at it next time, right? And just the sound. I think, I want to say that's pretty fair. I definitely am excited. Hopefully I get to be a part of that excitement. And hopefully if they want me to help out to build that excitement, I totally be down, because it's also another reason too, is that like why I would love to see Delta H Con even do better and blow everything away is that, well, let me just put it this way. A lot of people would have complained about the lack of safe and fun convention, mostly the safe conventions in Houston. And I'm like, yo, hear me out. And I let them know, come to Delta H Con. And I understand maybe this past year or this year, maybe they couldn't for a lot of reasons, but it's like hopefully next year we have a clear path and there's no excuse. Like if you guys, it's one of those like the grass is greener where you water it. As much as I like to believe that's really the case, but it's like, you know, if you're so mad and upset about this show, then come to this show where you can like really actually feel safe and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? So, but like I would say like overall it's awesome. Except those couple of things I've talked about, like which again can be improved on, and I'm willing to even I'm willing to help out on that department. I think 8.5 is pretty fair.
Okay. So overall, I enjoyed the convention for the first time in a long time. Well, and I say long time, it's very rare that I attend other people's panels. I have attended other people's panels, but they're usually friends of mine. I attended strangers panels this time around. And it's very rare for me. Like Savvy is definitely one of the, her panel is definitely one of the ones I attended. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Overall, I felt like the con did great despite the many setbacks, despite the many obstacles. I feel like the con was, it was run well. I feel like everyone did a great job. Everyone did their best. Everything was run. The only complaint I have is that there needs to be someone enforcing like the time limit rule on the panels, because some panels did go over, and I get really upset whenever I can't start my panel on time, because usually like for karaoke I have a setup time and I have to set up as soon as I can, because sound equipment's not easy to set up, because you got, if something goes bad, you can't, oh, okay, it's definitely this cable that's wrong. No, you got to check every cable to make sure that's what's going wrong with whatever. So overall, I'm going to give, so with their two scores tallied out with mine, because I'm just going to give the score overall. This year, Delta HCon, their Sweet 16 2024 gets a 9. It's our first 9 out of 10. And so this is a big deal, guys. So for those of you watching the post show, still watching lives, you still with us? There isn't a single con that's gotten a 9 this year. As a matter of fact, there wasn't a single con that got a 9 last year. I don't think any con gets a 9. Even if when we have people come on the show and interview it, we bump it down a score, because the rating system for their rating system is objective to how ours works. 6 is still a good score. 6 is good. 7's great. 8 is fantastic. 9 is amazing. 10 is perfect. 5 was all right. 4 is meh. 3 was ugh. 2 was why am I here? And 1 was like I'd rather be hit by a car.
Be gone, Satan. Be gone.
Be gone. Waste of money. I've been to flea markets that were more exciting than this convention. So that is our score for Delta HCon 2024, which officially, if I add them to our little list. Oh, wrong list. What's our panels? Okay, so according to our list, it will put them number 1 in the overall ranking so far. Keep in mind, we still have the rest of the year. We still have 5 months to go. There's Colossal Con, San Japan, Anime Texas, Ecchi Expo, San Antonio. There's also ecchi-con. ecchi-con's next year, my bad. Anime Houston, Anime Dallas. So there's so many cons, and that's just the ones that we can name off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
So we'll see how everything goes. But overall, like, congratulations, Delta. You guys are leading the leaderboard right now on our scoring.
Congratulations, Delta HCon.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Now, with that being said, all right, so it's about time we wrapped up. So just to kind of give everyone some information, we will not be, so I'm going to San Japan for a day. We're not running panels because we got waitlisted. If you guys would like for us to host panels, go ahead and let San Japan know, like, hey, what the heck? I'm trying not to cuss. What the heck? You know?
Yeah.
We want Geeks 5 ever. We will be at Colossal Con. We do have 3 panels. The reason why I only have 3, because I opted not to host anything on Friday, and because I work. So I will be at Colossal Con. You can come check, come hang out. We will be applying for OniCon this year. That is definitely going to happen. And Anime Texas. but I think OniCon, Anime Texas, and TasumiCon are our final cons of the year for me, at least.
I'll be at OniCon too, and San Japan. I get to see you guys. Yay!
Yeah. So yes, I'll be there Saturday. So hopefully we can run into each other. I
Yeah.
might have a new cosplay. I'm looking into cosplaying Bender from Futurama.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Oh yes,
Yeah, I'll
Bender
be-
bending Hernandez.
Yes.
I'll be Girl Sutcliffe on Saturday, so just look for the red hair in the jacket.
So as of right now, Captain Mexico is retired as a cosplay. Now, could I bring it back? Yes. I just got to make a brand new version of it because the shield is gone. It's destroyed. It got ripped. It got broken at the con, so I ripped it apart and threw it away because I didn't see the point in like repair. It was too much. It's too much work
It was
to
damaged
repair it.
before, yeah.
Well, because it's already been repaired multiple times, and cosplays aren't meant to be worn like a few years in a row, constantly, over and over. and
Oh
over.
yeah. No, I get that.
When you wear one cosplay, you wear it a couple times, and then you either put it up and then wear it again eventually, but not like every con for like 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, no, like for contest, if it gets a award, you basically hang it up on a coat hanger and only wear it for special occasions. You can't compete it in anymore. So I understand and relate to that hardcore.
All right. With that being said, so let's go ahead and plug in our social media. We'll start with Savvy.
Where'd I do that at?
No, just go ahead and just say it.
your social
Where can we follow you?
Yeah.
My handles on all of my media sites is Savvy Blossom Cosplay. If you find me on my Instagram, you can find my link tree, and all of my important links are connected there on my link tree. So, yay!
All right, thank you. And next is Sephi. Go ahead, and you are next.
Awesome. So at Sephi Hakubi on everything, at SEPHIHAKUBI. I want to say I have everything except for TikTok. Most of my real stuff is on Instagram. Instagram is one of my primary socials. So follow me on Instagram at Sephi Hakubi. I have a website, sephihakubi.com. That's where I post like what events I'll be appearing, any music that I'm going to be releasing. I have taken down some legacy music I've had, which I switched providers, distro providers, so I may be re-releasing some stuff and better sounding later this year. My Delta HCon set is on my Mixcloud, so mixcloud.com/Sephi Hakubi. So if you didn't get the chance to hear it or you want to relive it, you can hear it on my Mixcloud. And then I've commented that it's interesting. Like I had a lot of fun at Delta HCon. They took care of me very well, and I won't say it's WrestleMania, but I would love for it to be WrestleMania. But I've got that WrestleMania feeling because you know how like the Raw, there's always something crazy that happens the Raw after WrestleMania. Well, I wake up and I've been announced. Well, Houston, guess what? I'm coming back in December because I have been announced that I'm playing the main stage at Galaxy Station Trance Music Festival on December 8th, and which is probably the biggest show of my career. To get an idea, if you ever seen a music festival, it's like a whole sea right there. I'll be playing at the Bayou Music Center on December 8th. The whole festival is December 7th through the 8th, and like we already I have eyes on like the ticket sales. It's already been flying. The pre-sales alone have been flying, and I think they're about to start on tier 1 pretty soon, if not already. So
it's actually the same weekend as the Nostalgia Con that's happening in downtown. So it actually is perfect for get double events.
Oh yeah, I think it starts in the evening. I don't know when I'm playing exactly. I know I'm playing on that Sunday, but it's probably the most it's still, for me, it still hasn't sunk in. I've played a lot of conventions. I think I've played more than 27, but I'm looking at animecons.com, and Delta HCon was my 27th confirmed guest appearance. I'm trying to get 50. Now I'm going to more places, and I've been starting the tour again. I'm trying to hit 50 hopefully by 2025, end of 2025. So by the way, By the way, Cons, if you are watching, hit me up on slide on my Instagram DMs or email me if you can find my email somewhere. I would definitely love to work with y'all. Doesn't matter the size. I definitely want to work. Like, I do this out of love and passion. Like, I make money through a lot of different things. I have multiple streams, but anime cons have been my life, and I do this out of passion because I grew up wanting to see and hear things great, and I want to provide that to y'all. But my goal is to try and get to join the 50 club, and now you're going to be booking a international festival headliner at your show. So once December goes through, so get on the ground floor. It's still wild. I'm probably going one of these days pretty soon. I'm going to be absolutely not so humble about it. It's like, guess what? I'm headlining a huge music festival. No, it's been a very blessed experience. And on top of that, this Saturday in Dallas, or Louisville to be exact, I will be joining multiple hardcore and anime convention headliners at Vibe Lounge inside I Compete, as we're doing the Cyril tribute show called Forever Hardcore. And the story about that real quick is, I'm sure Jesse, you've seen Forever Red, right? Like, yeah. So Forever Hardcore is kind of based off Forever Red. I think I came up with the name because More Phenomenal Expo was going on, and there's 6 hardcore DJs from 6 different scenes, all international, coming together to save the world and pay tribute to DJ Cyril. And that's going to be at Vibe Lounge inside I Compete in Louisville, Texas. All that you can find on my Instagram and on sefihakami.com. But yeah, I will see y'all. Dallas, I will see you this Saturday. Houston, I love coming by there. I might see you guys sooner, but you'll see me on a massive stage playing Japanese trance, cyber trance. Maybe I might sneak some anime in there. But for those that wanted to see me play trance at Delta H, you'll get your chance with thousands of people December 7th and 8th. So be there. Thank you so much. And shout out again, Delta H Con. Amazing weekend. You took care of my family very well. I am down to get you guys to be the best con there is in Houston, if not even further. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, Dankapus, you are next.
All right, you already know, Dinktopus on everything. Don't follow my Twitter unless you absolutely do enjoy seeing things that are not meant for kids. I will be doing some more study on a bunch of California conventions and conventions in Florida. I will also be at Colossal Con if you want to come to the big rager we're doing with the Mr. 1 Week Rush 10-time Masterclass cosplay winner. It's my birthday this weekend.
Oh, happy early birthday!
My birthday on the 26th, on Friday. So I'm going to be on my Instagram, Dinktopus_Hunter, putting my throne wish list up on there. So if anybody wanted me to do any cosplays, that you could probably just put them through the throne, I guess. I'll also be going to San Japan this year as well. I'll be posting on my Instagram, Twitter, etc., TikTok, what conventions I will be doing next. And hopefully, I will see people at TwitchCon. So,
I forgot TwitchCon was a thing.
Yeah, TwitchCon's a thing. SumiCon, love SumiCon. Can't wait to go to SumiCon. Keeping everybody posted on some super not so secret 1 Week Rush stuff that we'll be doing. Colossal Con Friday. I'll also be posting on my story the Posh link to the 1 Week Rush party. The guy who did, I'm pretty sure everyone already knows, like the really big, awesome party that happened at Colossal Con last year that they didn't shut down, where a lot of cool stuff happened. That guy is now throwing a house party to kind of avoid having to jump through so many hoops. It will be his birthday, too. So, Colossal Con, Friday. Keep an eye out. I'll post it on everything I can. We'll be having a celebrity guest, Creepy. Everyone knows them from Vocaloid music that they've done.
He's my homeboy or
Yeah.
girl. But interesting thing, Creepy and I grew up in the same town that early childhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was awesome. I'm glad I'm glad that Creepy will be there.
Yeah. If you're going to Colossal, you should come meet and greet with Creepy.
I'm gonna try. Like I think I'm booked for something else. Not for like a gig, but more like everyone's telling me to go to Colossal, but I'll try. I can't make any promises. I've been hearing a lot of cool things, but definitely. If not, I'll catch up. I'll let them know that I said hi.
Yeah, I'll let them know.
So, and last but not least is my co-host Sonic.
Just follow me on Instagram, Super Saiyan Sonic. That's my main Instagram. And from there, you'll see my link tree. I have all the socials. I'm on TikTok, Keyblade Sonic. I'm on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. I think I hit 1,600 subscribers a few days ago, so it's pretty cool. Working on a couple of videos and projects and stuff. And again, follow me on Instagram, Super Saiyan Sonic. I post a lot of stuff there. And that's where you find my link tree in the bio, and you'll follow me there. So I appreciate it.
Hey, all right, and make sure if you can also follow him in real life if you see him at the con. Just make sure you bring
say
him
hi.
snacks. Say hi. Bring him snacks, something to eat, something to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Sonic, maybe some wrestling figurines if you're gonna follow him.
Yeah.
In person. But no, okay. So make sure for those of you that are watching the post show. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're ringling the dingling button so you'll be notified every time we go live. Follow us on Instagram, the Book of Faces, the Twitch of the Gamings. What else do we got? We got Snapchat. We got fanfiction.net. We got Pornhub. We got what? No, I'm kidding. We don't have all that. We don't have all that. Besides, it's Texas, so we definitely don't have fanfiction. The state shames fanfiction. It's a joke. No, but we do have Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. We are starting to mess with Twitter more. So go ahead and follow us on that. And join our Discord to get all the latest tea that we can't share on the channel. All the tea. Todo el chisme. Todo. Gratis. Gratis. What does it cost you? Nothing to go in there and talk trash. All right, guys. We'll see you next week with another episode of the podcast. And hopefully we'll see everybody at More Phenomenal Expo. Actually, that's the next one I'm going to. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys take care. Until next time.